what they telling me to come for me. No hesitation when I come forward. I won't let you go. When she telling me to come forward, come for me. That's what they telling me to come forward. No hesitation when I come forward. I won't let her go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She's telling me to come forward, come for me. See, I don't know why I finally now I just spoke my mind. I know it's long since we spoke sometime, but this thing no play, I go change your mind. Just give me some time, any place, cause I don't have no time to waste. No more back and forth, just like Aaliyah. That's all I wanna do right now. Grab it up, say you know me gonna grab it up. Body to body, make a bend up for that reeling. Bad man, turn you over like a steering. Well, when me gonna grab it up, say you know me gonna grab it up. Body to body, make a bend up for that reeling. Bad man, turn you over like a steering. Well, telling me to come forward, come for me. That's what they telling me to come for me. No hesitation when I come forward. I won't let you go. What she telling me to come forward, come for me. That's what they telling me to come forward. No hesitation when I come forward. I won't let her go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She's telling me to come forward, come for me.
That's killed it.
You made the decision to play Thiago. Klopp doesn't change the system. Since Luvac left, he don't want to change from the 4-3.
Welcome, my people. What's going on with the shape up? Oh my God, about to say. Let me turn that away because I'm watching on the wrong thing. Welcome, people. We are back again. I'm out here with the little cat. Do you know what I mean? I'm comfy. This is obviously a nice little evening stream, a nice calling. I wanted to get into a nice preview. I promise you guys are calling, and then obviously we've delivered, managed to get some free time to do it. We've got a big game. We've got a big game tomorrow, and considering the last two results, they haven't been the best. Our form's dipped slightly, and for me, we need to get back to winning ways, and obviously we're hosting Brentford at home at 2 p.m. tomorrow, so this is going to be the preview for that game. Big up to everyone in the building already. Please make sure we are smashing a like upon entry. I want everyone smashing a like, which I want callers as well. This is a calling show, so after I get into some nooks and crannies and we get through the game, get through the kind of little stats, my analysis from the game, my score predictions and stuff, I'm then going to have a call-in where it's just an open panel. We can discuss anything that you want to do with Liverpool. Give you guys a couple minutes or so to have your say on the channel. I haven't done it for a long time, but I think it's only right that I do it with you guys as well. And it's only me today, so it's going to be really, really good to obviously do it with yourselves. Big up to obviously everyone in the building. Let me see what people are saying in the comments. Make sure this cat is comfy because it's going to be moving. There we go. Big up to Ensman in the building off the bat. Hope you're doing well. We've got Aman Singh in the building as well. Big up to Alexander Day Lost. We've got John as well saying big up the show tonight. Big up JJ and everyone in the chat. Like up the stream. Big up to yourself. Big up to K-Mac as well in the building. Long time no speak. We've got Stephen Truth Seeker. Big up to Captain Sal in the building. We've got Copites as well. Who else? Big up to K-Mac saying you look like a James Bond villain. Yeah, I look like a villain. Do you know why? Because some people are saying I'm praying for Liverpool's downfall. So I'm just here with the cat purring away. You know, like that. We got obviously Copat saying man's moving like the Terminator. Alexander Loss saying Liverpool back versus a small club. I mean, back to winning ways, back to winning ways. Big up to Angel United 68 saying Wolves' last-minute winner was fun. It definitely was fun. I give you that. It definitely was fun, man. But big up to everyone in the building. I know you guys are already liking up the thing. Make sure we're sharing as well. I want us to share in this content. And if you're watching this on Twitter, if you're watching this on Twitch as well, please make sure you're heading over here and just liking the video. It does help the channel grow. We're, of course, en route to 200 million subscribers, and that's what we're trying to do. But people, going back to the big game we've got a big game. And the reason why it's a big game against Brentford is because Brentford have caused us a lot of trouble in recent years. Yes, we've been able to win certain games and lose games. But listen, they caused havoc. And last time out, Tony gave us a right run around. Let's just keep it a buck. Now, it was very problematic. A right run around. If we're looking at the stats, and of course, I always do my research before these games, make sure I've got these stats written down for you guys on my notes. I'm just getting that up for you guys right now before we get into my kind of team predictions and stuff. And look, we saw today with Tottenham, man, you could be winning a game for 90 minutes and you could still end up being losers. See what I mean? So we do need the dubs, and we do need the dub. Big up to Fritz as well. But as we're saying here, Liverpool obviously, and this is obviously the positive stats, and we're going to get into that. Liverpool have won their last 7 home games against Brentford in all competitions, scoring 16 and conceding 1 since a 4-3 loss in the top flight in November 1937. So look, we win home games against against Brentford. Doesn't mean it's easy, bro. Doesn't mean it's easy. Brentford haven't kept a clean sheet in any of their last 16-minute meetings with Liverpool or in all competitions since a top-flight goalless draw at Anfield in April 1936. So we're talking about a long history. As we know, Brentford are a relatively small club, very young in the making in comparison to Liverpool, and of course have just recently got promoted to the table in the last 5 years or so. Or 3 years, should I say. So look, they're a team that are still on the up. They're building, but they're starting to progress, and you can see what Thomas Frank is doing there. A lot of some people, not a lot of people, I'm not going to say that. Some people are touting him to potentially replace Klopp once he's gone, or he can be that next manager up for a kind of top 6 team. I mean, I know Tottenham were interested in him as a manager as well. So, you know, they're doing all right. They use that Moneyball system for anyone that's any kind of FSG supporter or backer, he'll be a great manager to come in because he doesn't need a lot of funds to get a team grooving and moving. Liverpool have gained the most points from losing positions in the Premier League this season, which is obviously 11, and have only lost 1 of their last 10 games when falling behind, winning 4 and drawing 5, and which was obviously our 2-1 loss at Spurs couple days ago, or couple games ago, should I say. And let's just be honest, I'm looking obviously at this team, and they're a team that are proving that they're very difficult to beat. They're not Spursy in that sense. It doesn't mean that we put in good performances. It doesn't mean that we necessarily win, but we struggle we're a team that doesn't lie down, and we can get a result. I mean, look, let's be honest. Even against Toulouse in the midweek, we should have had a third goal, to be fair. It wasn't the greatest performance, but that wasn't a handball, in my opinion. And as a result, we've obviously lost the game. But in the Premier League, in that top flight, we still haven't. I mean, we've only lost once. So that's a real good stat from a Liverpool perspective. Brentford have won their last 3 Premier League matches, scoring at least twice in each victory. The Bees haven't won 4 consecutive top flight matches since March 1939. While they haven't won 4 top flight games in a row while scoring 2+ goals ever previously. So Brentford are on a run, and that is the biggest worry for me, is that we're facing a Brentford team that not only cause us problems and just in general in terms of how they play, especially when they had that link up between Ivan Toney and Mbeumo, which will obviously be Wissa and Mbeumo most likely, but we'll get into that team later on. We've gone on a dip. Now, what I don't want is this dip to start snowballing, because we've seen Szoboszlai has been more or less kind of needy, like in the last couple of games, in comparison to what he's done earlier on in the season. McAllister, for me, hasn't been good enough. We're suffering from injuries. The likes of Elliott and Endo are now being relied upon more because of these injuries. We know Gravenberch is obviously out with that knee issue. Jones still a doubt as well. So for me, when I'm looking at it, we're in a position now where we could very easily be on the back of another loss a back-to-back loss, and dropping points in 3 consecutive games, which won't be great at all. So for me, that's something to look at. That's something definitely to look at, knowing that Brentford are on a roll, and when Brentford are on a roll, they can string together like a decent 4-game run where they haven't won back-to-back games, but maybe they haven't lost. This is the first time they could actually go and win, and they're scoring goals. They're able to score goals. We saw against Chelsea earlier on in the season. They can score goals even when they're having a dead half. They can stay. They can stay in games and then still go on to win the game late on. Wolves have done it earlier today as well, so that's something to look at. Moving on, Liverpool have won all 8 of their last games at Anfield in all competitions this season, all by a margin of 2+ goals. In the Reds' history, only from May to October 1980 have they ever won 9 consecutive home games by at least 2 goals. So again, from an attacking standpoint, a lot of us know it, we are improving as a team, or we're able to reach the heights that we once did with the likes of Salah, Mane, etc. And we've never been on a run where we've won 9 straight, in the Premier League, in the top flight, by 2 or plus more goals. So from an attacking standpoint, we're doing something well. But it's just that cohesion from the midfield and the defence. So that's something that I need to go and obviously look at. And I think we need to look at as well as fans. Great stat as well. 14 of Brentford's last 15 Premier League wins have come in London. The exception being a victory at Southampton in March. Since the start of last season, the Bees have only won 2 of their last 16 games staged outside of the capital. So maybe that's, again, another omen that may go in our favour. We may be a team that's this kitten. See what's happening? What's going on here? Jesus, this cat. Apologies, people. This kitten is missing its mum. Its mum's not about today, so obviously I'm here. I'm on cat duty. Going back to what I'm saying. So that might be a good omen, the fact that Brentford struggle to go and win away from the capital. Now, of course, Chelsea, Arsenal, there's a lot of teams that play in the capital, which does benefit Brentford. And as we've seen, they've won a lot of games in recent memory. They haven't won at Liverpool, though. And even in games where we've been quite poor and we've drawn a game, we haven't lost. And that's something to look at as well from a positive standpoint. Apologies. Couple more stats before we move on. Liverpool have won their opening 5 home Premier League games this season. Only twice in the Premier League era have they started the season with 6 wins at Anfield, which was ironically 1920 when we won our first 17, obviously on the way to the title, and 2020-2021, the quad season, where we won our first 7. So that is another real good stat to go and see Liverpool's progression. And that does spark the question, are Liverpool in a title race? And it's something that we haven't discussed on this channel. I think it's important to. So these are questions that I'm throwing at you guys, and you guys can call in. When you guys call in, you're going to be able to obviously discuss this with me. Are Liverpool title challenges? Because as we see here from our stats, only twice in the Premier League era have we started the season with 6 wins at Anfield or more. That was obviously, we won our first 17 in 1920. And in 2020-2021, we won our first 7. And obviously, those are 2 really important seasons. Obviously, one season we won the Premier League, of course. And the other season, we won the near quad. Like, it was the near quad. And look, if this Liverpool team can get to that level, then we're obviously going to see progression from last season. That's really obviously good to go and see. Luis Diaz's equaliser against Luton last time out. Was the 41st 90th minute goal Liverpool have scored in the Premier League under Jurgen Klopp, second only to Man City since his first game in charge. It was also the Reds' latest equalising goal, 94 minutes and 40 seconds, since Divock Origi scored against West Brom in December 2015 in what was Klopp's 8th game in charge. So that's obviously interesting to go and see. Liverpool's Mohamed Salah. Again, Mr. Record. That's what I call him, because he's breaking records every single week, it seems. Has scored 15 goals or assisted 3 goals in each of his last 14 home Premier League appearances. Only 2 players have ever done so in 15 in a row. Alan Shearer twice, March 1995 and February 1996. 2 February 1996. 18 in a row, and April 1996 to May 1997. Which was 17, and Thierry Henry, of course, November 2002 to October 2003. So boy. When we're talking about a player that's up in those upper echelons, and then that sparks the question again: where do we rank Salah in terms of his Premier League legacy? Is he the best player the Premier League's ever seen? Is he? What would get him to that level? If he's not, and a lot of us will say Henry, some of us might say, you know, the likes of Shearer, it might be someone else, maybe Rooney, in fact. What would elevate Salah? Would it be winning more Premier Leagues? Would it be winning more Champions Leagues? What would elevate him? Because from a personal standpoint, I mean, there's not much more he can do, if we're being honest, right? And the last one, I know I've been bogging on a lot, so appreciate you guys chilling with me now. Brentford striker Neil Maupay has been involved in a goal in his last 3 Premier League appearances, with a goal and 2 assists after not scoring or assisting in any of his previous 30 games beforehand. The Frenchman hasn't scored in consecutive appearances since December 2021. Neil Maupay, if I'm being honest, is a very, very interesting player. At Brentford, when he was in the Championship, I really liked him as a player. And I think his first couple, I want to say 8 months, maybe 9 months at Brighton was really, really good. I believe he got injured, dropped out of the side, came back in and was never the same player. Obviously went on loan to Everton, I believe, or did Everton purchase him? I think Everton purchased him, and he couldn't really get it going there. Him going back to Brentford is him coming home, and you can see, even with the absence of Tony, they have the likes of Neil Maupay, Mbomo, who we know about and I've spoken about in terms of potentially coming in and being that Salah backup, and Wissa as well, who's a really, 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 really good player in my opinion. So really, really obviously good to go and see. Going to get into your comments now before obviously I get into everything. Big up to LFC Aaron saying, big up JJ. Like the stream, please, people. For me, go with 4 forwards tomorrow. Interesting, bro. Interesting. We'll get into that, but appreciate the super chat, man. Big up to yourselves. Big up to Honesty in the building as well. Appreciate the comments, K-Mac. We've got some questions coming. Don't worry, I'm seeing it. Big up to Lucky in the building. Hope you're doing well. We got Stephen, True Seeker. Big up to yourself. We got Brazy. Big up to yourself saying, yo, Jerry, don't pull a Kurt Zuma. I can't, bro. I can't. These cats are currently, my missus calls them her children, innit? She got Sushi and we got Samba now. So that's not going to be happening at all. We've got Endsman TV, big up to yourself, saying, here listening, but working, bro. I hear you, big up to yourselves. For everyone working or tuning in as well. Big up to LFC Aaron saying, Suarez 13-14 is the best ever, in my opinion. Yeah, I hear it. We've got Honesty saying, Mo is just below Henry. Yeah, we'll get into it, man. We'll get into it, guys. All right, cool. What I'm going to do, obviously, from now on, from this moment forward, quickly go through the lineup that I think Liverpool are going to go with. We're going to obviously talk about, and you guys are going to have to let me know, are there any injury concerns? Would you play a player? Of course, we know the likes of Jones, obviously, is still unavailable, I believe. McAllister's on a suspension, so he won't be available to play, hence why he played 90 minutes, obviously, midweek. On Thursday, we're going to obviously get into our team. Hopefully, Verge is back. If not, it's interesting to see what team we're going to go with, but I'm going to get my lineup up right now. I'm going to share that with you people. Just bear with me for 2 seconds. Guys, make sure we are smashing the like. We've got about 30 people in the building on a Saturday night. And if you're like me and you've got nothing to do on a Saturday night, make sure you're tuning in here, man. And I appreciate you guys tuning in as always. Hold on, let me get this here. Let's see. Would you guys believe me if I told you, yeah? Would you guys believe me if I told you that this cat is still on my lap, just chilling, purring away? And luckily, you guys can't hear it. Would you guys believe me, man? Mad. All right, let me share this with you guys now. Cool. All right then. All right, cool. So you guys can see that. Let me remove that banner. All right. You guys let me know your starting 11s as well. We've got LFC Aaron saying, obviously, Salah has been garbage last few games. That's why... Apologies. That's why I think we should go 4-2-3-1 or 4-4-2. Interesting. I'm going to move that Klopp, though. Klopp's not moving for the 4-3-3. This is the stream. This is obviously the team we're going with. Klopp doesn't change anything unless he has to. So we're going to have to move with that. Let's get into that lineup straight away. In goal, I'm going a return for Alisson. If we're being honest, I don't think Keller had the best game. against Toulouse, if I'm being honest. And of course, he was never going to go and come in. But Alisson, the best keeper in the world, proving that week in, week out, he's obviously doing really, really well for Liverpool, and has done consistently now for 24 months. It seems as though he's been consistent. So yeah, man, 100% going with that team. I'm gonna go with Trent at right back, of course. I think, yeah, we need Trent's creativity, especially considering we're quite short in midfield with injuries, etc. So I'm going to go with Trent in midfield. At centre-back, I'm going to go with Konate at the back. Have to go with Konate. At left centre-back, I'm going with Virgil van Dijk. He should be back after, obviously, that illness that kept him out of the Toulouse game, or kept him out of the team. And at left back, we've got a massive problem, people. Robertson, of course, out with a long-term injury, that dislocated shoulder or whatever it was. He's going to be out. Tsimikas, really, really, really poor game. Really poor game, man, against Toulouse. Obviously, got caught out for that first goal, I believe. I'm looking at Tsimikas, and for me, he needs to hold bench, man. Now, we've got options. We either go Gomez at left back. We've got Chambers at left back. We've got Endo at left back, and we've got Kwanzaa at left back. Now, do I want to go and see Kwanzaa playing on the left and be made to look like a fool by Mbomo that's down that side, who obviously is a problem? No. Do I trust Tsimikas to do his defensive duties against an Mbomo? No. Because you know he's going to pull across onto that side. He's not going to be near Van Dijk, even if they're playing a kind of two up top. For me, it's going to have to be Gomez. I know we could potentially play Chambers or Scanlon there, but they haven't had a game since, I think it was Lask now. I'm going to have to go at Gomez at left back purely from the defensive standpoint. Costas, for me, not good enough, man. He was brilliant as a backup when he first came in, but I think that's the problem. When you're a backup, you're not playing consistently enough, and you kind of know you're a backup. So backups always, like, it's difficult to get a really, really good backup that's comfortable being backup, that doesn't really push for that first team. And ultimately, he's never really pushed for that first team, apart from maybe in that first season, especially in that quad season. So yeah, I'm going to go with that. Cats decided to go on one. So in a bit, Samba, hope you're doing well. But cool. Yeah, in the DM role. Now. We've got another issue. Endo, stop it. I'm talking to the cat. Endo, stop it. Oh, man. Is it? Listen, I feel sorry. I know Kyle does streaming with his kids. And if they're anything like these cats, oh, my God. You stop. He's gonna turn off my computer. You get off. You need to go now. Yeah. So apologies. What are you guys saying? You guys are probably grilling me right now. Obviously we haven't got any players. Endo. Look, put it this way: Mikas has been really poor from a defensive standpoint, and he's not available. Endo was really poor against Toulouse. No real ground duels. But we haven't got any other options. The only option I see, potentially, right? Potentially. Do you play Soboslai in the DM? We can't even do that. Soboslai what? Soboslai, Elliott, and Gakpo. But that's a disrespect to an Endo, innit? It's gonna have to be Endo. We've got no one else. And at least he can win a header, innit? Like, at the bare minimum, he can win a header. At the bare minimum. People are saying, Trent, where are you playing? Who are you playing at right back and left back? Are you guys playing Kwanzaa at left back? I can't do that. We got no choice. Exactly, we got no choice. It's going to be Endo, man. Although we've come to the end of the road, I've got to play you. All right, cool. I'm playing Endo. I'm Klopp. Endo, wow. You can win a header. Wow. What a player. All right, cool. I'm playing Soboslai on the right. On the left, sorry. And in midfield, I'm just going to go. I'm going with Elliot in the right. Elliot, I'm not too fussed about. I think he's been all right. I think he's been very, very decent. Very, 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 very decent. Coming off the bench, so he's going to have to obviously come in. We've got obviously Keepin saying Gomez right back and Kwanzaa left back or switch. I don't want to see that at all. I don't want to see that at all. We've got Gomez left back and Endo right back. Well, put it this way. For me, Endo in the DM role is not as bad as Tsimikas at left back right now. Hence why, for me, I think I need to play Gomez at left back. Because defensive, that's for me is going to be the key area. The key area, because Mbomo, Wissa, you've got runners in it. You've got for me, it's that left back. So for me, that's what I'm going with. That's what I'm going to go with, man. Then the problem lies here. Of course, we've got Salah on the right, and we know that. Salah's going to come in. He wasn't great against Toulouse, so he's going to come there. At left wing, we've got a problem. Do you play Diaz? Do you play Jota? Do you want Diaz an impact off the bench? Diaz was okay. He was okay against Toulouse. And you got the goal. He's okay. I don't know. Let me know. Who are we going with? I'm actually going to go with what you guys say now, because I'm quite stuck. We got Keepin saying Jota. We got K-Max saying Jota. Let me know why Jota as well. I think that's proper important to obviously discuss. Mike Das, big up to Mike Das, saying it's going to be Diaz, Nunes, Salah, no matter what you want. Why do you think so? Why do you think so? Let me know why you think so. It's all right you saying that. I'm not saying it's what I want. I'm pretending I'm Klopp, so I'm trying to be in the mind of Klopp. Why would it be Diaz, Nunes, Salah? Explain to me why you think that would be the case. We got Keepin saying Diaz was crap. I mean, Keepin, he's saying Diaz was garbage, but Diaz is going through a lot. LFC Aaron saying you play Diaz, Jota, Nunes, and Salah. So you'd play 4-2-4. Brady saying we got Lucho, Darwin, and Salah. Do we see Darwin starting? I don't know. It might be Gakpo, I actually think it might be Gakpo starting because of the midfield situation. We can't have Diaz and Darwin being very, very kind of in behind. We've got Mike Das saying because it's been made clear that that's Klopp's first choice front three. Yeah, Diaz started that game midweek though. And he was out of it. I don't know. I just don't see it. Big up to Ian, saying hi all. Is Diaz here tomorrow though? I thought he was going home. I could easily be wrong on this. Yes, I did hear somewhere that he'd be going on later somewhere this month, but I think he'll be going home for the international break. Maybe he's gone before. That's interesting to go and see. Honestly saying, look, Diaz, I want to see Diaz mindset after his injuries, back-to-back situation with his parents. I want to see how good he is with a clear mind. Yeah, interesting. Interesting, man. I think Klopp doesn't start playing Nunes. I don't think he plays Nunes. I think this is where we want to be because we've got obviously a lot of attacking prowess. But I'm gonna go bold. I'm going Diogo Jota. Yeah, Diogo Jota. And I'm going you know what? I think I'm going to go Diogo Jota on the left and Gakpo in the middle. I think Luis Diaz, I think Gakpo works better and you can drop into this role and kind of have this situation. Gakpo here, we've got Soboslai, and I think that's what's going to happen. He's going to cover, he might come in there, and we might end up in situations like this from a defensive standpoint. I think going forward at times, it might be something like this, and I think that's what's going to help us, yeah? Let's just move it about. I think from a defensive standpoint at time, from an attacking standpoint, that's what we're going to go and see. Him wide out and him kind of narrow. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to see at times. I don't think we're going to play very much down the right, in my opinion. Not playing down the left as much because obviously Joe Gomez isn't left-footed for A, and B, he's not he's not an attacking-minded player, is he? You can't really do that role great. So for me, that's what I'd go with. Yeah, 100%. That's what I'd go with. Guys, make sure we're smashing a like, please. Let me know what you guys think of that. Mike Das saying we play a back two in possession. JJ, no, we not really. We play a back two in possession, but we can't do because Konate moves across. We don't play with a back two. We don't. We actually don't. I'd actually show you the clips. K-Max saying JJ moving players wide. LOL. LFC no width now. Yeah, there is no width, but I think the width. These players, I think Elliott's still going to come in central, he's going to come inverted. Trent will obviously alternate with Elliott at times. Endo's going to be covering that area, and I don't think Joe Gomez is going to be as advanced. And if he is, Endo, it would just be a swap basically. And I know it will be a bit more advanced, and it might be a bit like this. Let's put them higher so you guys see what I'm talking about, because I can do that. It might be that at times if you want to play Gomez there. But the build-up will still be there, and Endo will still have to cover Joe Gomez if he's bombing forward. With Soboslai roaming around and Trent in here, you might have Elliott in there as well. So at times, that's the kind of situation we'll be in. That's the situation we'll be in. So it'll be really interesting to go and see. Big up to Liverpool 12th man saying players can have a bad game. Judge them on whether they bounce back because people won't take back the disrespect so easily. Offered up before they do/don't. Yeah, players can have a bad game. Players can have a bad game 100%. But I don't think people have been convinced about some of the players that have a bad game. I know Soboslai hasn't been great in the last couple games. I know he didn't play last game, but he hasn't been the best. He hasn't been the same Soboslai that we've seen. Salah hasn't been great, if we're being honest. But I don't think anyone's having those kind of narratives or agendas towards those players. It's the likes of players like Endo that I haven't really spoken about yet. But I get why people have their worries and their qualms. So I get it. Big up to Angel Knight 68 saying, I think Diaz may be allowed to go home early for the international break because of the family situation. Don't think he'll be selected tomorrow. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he's not selected, if I'm being honest. I wouldn't be surprised. We got K-Max saying, I worry for Konate and his team with Trent and Elliott not defending. I think Trent's going to be much more defensively sound, if I'm being honest. Big up to Naldo saying, Brentford love across. Our fullbacks got to play well tomorrow. They do. Our fullbacks definitely have to play well. And that's why I think Gomez starts. Because at least that gives us a back three at times from a defensive standpoint that can be a bit more solid because we won't have Gomez bombing forward as much. It'll be quite lopsided. And we've seen it in pre-season and in the Europa League. We've had lopsided kind of attacking fullbacks where, you know, Tsimikas might be a bit deep and we've got Trent going forward, or Trent's a bit deeper getting on the ball and Tsimikas is quite high. So it'd be interesting to obviously go and see. We've got Honesty saying, without Curtis Jones, we have zero width. And for how bad Robert was, he's a big miss for us. Yeah, I don't think he was as bad as people are making out, though. I don't think he's back to his best, but I don't think he was as bad. We've got Alexander Delos saying we should be beating these teams. That's the worry. I hear you. Brady saying, if Lucho is out, I'd go Jota, Darwin, Salah. I hear why people want Darwin. I just don't think he's going to start, if I'm being honest, man. We've got Brady saying Gakpo lacks the pace that Darwin has. He does, but that's the trade out. That's the trade-off, not the trade-out. That's the trade-off. Gakpo's defensively better than Darwin. He not from a pressing standpoint, but he can drop into these situations at times. So if we go back to just like a basic kind of defense, yeah, a basic kind of defense. Let's say from an ideal standpoint, you have something like this, yeah. Obviously there, and let's say he pulls out wide. Let's say this happened. Yeah, so obviously this is our team here. They're playing. We lose the ball, right? The ball's down, I don't know, Joe Gomez's side, yeah? And we've all moved across. So Joe Gomez has moved across here. You've got Virgil van Dijk covering because we're really narrow when we defend at times. And we've got to be. You've got Konate there. Or you've got Endo here that drops in. He covers that space in between them. You've got Trent covering the back post. You might have Elliott tracking here. Salah drops off here, but not too far. You've got Soboslai that's going to be running across here, trying to help out. Diogo Jota pressing here at times. Gakpo will do this. And it will end up being something like that. So when we win the ball back, Salah's already here. And we've seen it before in games where Soboslai's pinged the ball over into Salah. Do you know what I mean? Where Salah's gone and scored. This was, what game was this? I don't want to say Everton, but it was a game. You left-footed ping over the top. Keepers missed the ball completely. What keeper was it? It wasn't Pickford. It was oh my God, Burnley. Someone let me know. Someone let me know. I'm getting so bad. Forest. That's the one. Big up to Copites. It was Forest. It was Forest. Nottingham Forest. That's the one. Copites. You got the. You know what I mean, your noggin screwed on. So great ball at the top. So when it becomes like this, Gakpo will do this role. Nunes a lot of the time is here, and he's not going to press these guys. And you get Salah out here, which gives us a bit of obviously leeway, but it means that gap's there. And if you're looking at Brentford, the likes of Norgard, yeah, I mean, couple players. We've got De Silva as well that can get on the ball and it can cause a lot of problems in these areas. So yeah, I think that's the trade-off. I think that's the trade-off. And I think that's what Liverpool go and play with. And having the likes of a Darwin Núñez and a Lucho, a Luis Diaz to come on and affect the game from an attacking standpoint, if we can stay in it, if the game's not going our way, is always a benefit. And let's be honest, Gakpo, the way people were talking about it last season, like, is the best thing since sliced bread. So we still need to be able to go and see these players performing at that level. And I think it's a team that's good enough to beat at Brentford at home. Like, if we're being honest, if we're on form, I don't think we'd have any kind of issues. Big up to Ali Nuss, who you hope you're doing well. It was Turner. That's the one as well. Big up to yourself. 100%. Big up to M. Tamizi. I hope you're doing well. But yeah, so for me, that's what I'm looking at with this team. So if we're starting again, going to let you know my team just before we move on to obviously my score predictions and just talking obviously about the opposition as well before we get you guys on. And I'll put the link in the chat. We've got obviously a midfield. That's our midfield there. And our defense is here. So cool, amazing. We've got obviously Alisson in goal, starting at left back. We've got Joe Gomez filling in at left back. Virgil van Dijk on the left-hand side of centre-back with Konate. Trent at right-back, of course, inverting as he always does. We have Endo at the base of the midfield with Szoboszlai on the left as opposed to being on that preferred right-hand side that Klopp likes him on. Harvey Elliott playing on that right-hand side. I think that's his best position in the midfield. I don't really like him on the left because I think he's limited with that left foot. Can put obviously decent balls into the box sometimes, but I prefer him on that right-hand side. I think he's got a better connection with Salah down that side. Of course, we've got Diogo Jota. I'm going to go over on the left. I don't think Diaz starts in this game, even if he's available. I don't think Darwin starts either. I think we start with Gakpo again. And I think Mo Salah starts, of course, and that's going to be my team. So let me know if you think that's going to be the team. And hey, I guess the question now is Klopp going to go with that team? I think that's going to be really interesting to obviously go and see. And remove that. Looking at obviously Brentford. Let's go and have a look at obviously Brentford, where they are in the Premier League table as well before we move on and give you my score predictions. So we have a look. There we go. Let me share that with you guys. 2 seconds. Okay. All right, cool. Let me zoom in. All right, cool. Amazing. All right, as you can see, Liverpool are sitting fourth, played 11 games, have the potential to actually be level on points with Arsenal if we win on the weekend. So it is a must-win game, and it kind of establishes us back on level terms with obviously Man City, who have a game in hand just like us, who are yet to play. Arsenal have played one game more than us, and we obviously go above Tottenham with their loss today, which obviously was a dramatic loss, as we spoke about. 2 goals in the 90th minute. What's going on, Spurs? Spurs being Spurs again. If we were to lose the game, as we can see, Aston Villa are to play as well. I think they're playing tomorrow also. They are only 2 points behind us, so we'll go a point ahead of us if we were to go and obviously lose the game. If we were to draw, we'll be level on points with Aston Villa in 5th. We obviously have a better goal difference, so they'd have to score about 4 or more for us to obviously go and see them overtake us in the table. Ironically, Man United, as bad as they've been, they're only 3 points off Liverpool, having played one more game. But if we were to lose, we'd only be 3 points behind Man United. And Man United having a terrible time in the Premier League, though. They've only lost once in 5 games. Do you know what I mean? With 2 wins, either obviously you've got obviously a loss either side of 2 wins. So they won 2 on the bounce now in the Premier League. Liverpool a bit of an indifference, obviously indifference because we've got a draw, 2 wins, a draw and a loss, as we can see here. Let me just highlight that. Obviously, Brentford, our opponents for tomorrow, are in 9th place with 16 points. So we're still, do you know what I mean? We're about, do you know what I mean? 8 points ahead of them. That's really obviously good to go and see. Then, sorry, 16 points ahead. Yeah. We obviously, Brentford, having played 11, have won 4, lost 4, and drawn 3, I believe. Yeah, no, drawn 4 and lost 3. 16 points for them. Winning their last, obviously, winning their last 3, and obviously a loss and a draw. So that's interesting to obviously go and see as well. They won their last 3, and that's important to obviously look at. We've obviously lost and then drawn, won our last 2 and drawn again. So we're gonna have to. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting, man. Looking at Brentford, big up to Angel 1968. Areas that I think that are going to be quite interesting for Liverpool. Big up to where, because someone actually said it, and I actually want to go and bring it up. Where is it? I actually want to do the person justice before I say it. Saw very, very, very good. Hold on, there we go. Got that from you. There we go. So one of the main issues when I'm looking at Brentford and looking at them from a like kind of opposition standpoint, Brentford overload a lot on the back post and cross constantly. Their set pieces are going to be very worrying, and I think Chelsea suffered from that a lot. Brentford didn't have the best first half and were quite wasteful in possession. However, with the likes of who's their centre back's name? Man, I'm so bad today. What's the centre back's name? I have to get it. Jesus Christ. Not Rico Henry. Ethan Pinnock. That's it. With Pinnock on the back post, they are going to be a threat. I do like, obviously, is it Christian Igard as well? Centre back. Yeah, the one from Celtic. I think they've got a decent team. They've got a decent team. Aaron Hickey as well. We've got Collins at the back as well. But it's Pinnock. It's Pinnock. There we go. Pinnock. So yeah, for me, I'm looking at Pinnock, and that's going to be a massive, massive problem from set pieces, especially considering we lose a lot of height with the likes of Endo and Elliott being in the team. We know Trent's not the best aerially. Having Gomez does help with that, and I think that's why Gomez would play. Darwin Núñez does probably help from a defensive standpoint with headers as well over Gakpo. That's something to look out for. That could be a change. I know Ajer, that's it. Christian Aya, that's it. Big up to Kopats. So that's something to obviously look at. We've obviously got Collins as well from Wolves, so that's something to look out for as well. And they're a decent team. I like the way they obviously go and play. They're going to play a 5 at the back, and I think our issue, if I'm being deadly honest from an opposition standpoint, it's going to be breaking them down through the middle, because out wide there's not going to be a lot of space. And unless the Salah can get the better of his fullback, which obviously will most likely be Rico Henry, who from a defensive standpoint can be good, but also attacks really well. It's going to be really crucial to go and watch. Of course, at right back, they've got Hickey as well. And if Hickey's playing again, we're not going to have that same threat down the left-hand side with Gomez playing at left back. So him overlapping isn't going to be as big of a worry, even if it was Tsimikas, purely because of the fact that once he overlaps, he's got a left foot to cross it in with. Gomez doesn't have that. So he's going to be coming inside a lot, which means that they're going to pack out that midfield. And that's going to be our issue for me. So when I'm looking at it, that's what I'm going to look at. Even if it is big up to saying, oh, Henry's actually injured. If not, it might be Yanalt. But I think Yanalt will do all right. I like Yanalt at left back. I like their team a lot. So it'll be really, really interesting to obviously go and see. Obviously, the main point for me is Liverpool need to score early. The longer it goes on without us getting a goal, and the longer it stays with us staying with like a 1-0 or even a 1-0 scoreline, I don't think Brentford are going to go at us. We could go and potentially draw this game. We could. So we have to be very, very careful how we go and do it. Having the likes of Yanalt playing that left wing back as well just means that we've got a midfielder that's playing there, which means it's a bit more technical, which means that he might find the pockets, and Frank does allow his wing backs to kind of come in centrally and create a bit more. We've seen it with Hickey as well. It's going to be really, really interesting to obviously go and see. Big up to Honestly saying JJ Pinnock is number 1 in headers 1, Virgil van Dijk 2nd, and Van der Berg is 3rd or 4th. Van der Ven, sorry, will be 3rd or 4th. I agree. Cats have gone haywire. They're chasing each other now, so you're probably seeing that. And see what you guys are saying. Big up to Ram. Hope you're doing well. We got Naldo, big up to saying Wataru aerial duels are decent, so maybe we manage it. We'll have to see. Maybe he might do well. It might be a game for him. However, when we're bombing forward and we're going to have the likes of Trent inverting and we're going to have Gomez potentially bombing forward, Endo needs to win his duels on the ground because Mbeumo's going to pick up those half spaces, so will Wissa. And they're going to link up really well down that side. And Virgil van Dijk, he's not going to have a target man that you can actually get close to. There's not going to be an Ivan Toney about where, he could just win the aerial duels against him. The passes are going to be all around him and the players are going to be around him, which means Virgil van Dijk is going to have to make a decision. Is he going to spread out and try press the players and get out into the areas that he doesn't want to, or is he going to try and command that central area? If he does, it means that the spaces and the gaps around Virgil van Dijk, around the defenders, around our central defenders, are going to be areas where we're quite weak. And it means that our midfielders start to get stretched, and then the likes of Janelt can come inside. Norgard, if he's playing, can come inside and kind of get shots off from distance, and we don't want him doing that either. So, it'll be interesting game, man. Interesting game. We got Hickey injured as well. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. You done your stats, Coppats. Big up to yourself. We've got Ultra saying, Ultra saying, there are loads of players this past week that have been disappointing. They all need to step up. Yeah, but they're entitled to. Players are entitled to have some poor games. Big up to the missus, as always. Big up to yourself. We got Ram saying, big up JJ. Hope you're doing well, bro. Hope you're doing well. We've also got Ultra saying, look, we need to stop being slow with our players. Endo confused me in the Europa game with the slow play. Yes, Liverpool play a different style of football, and I think that's important to say. I'm big up to, I don't want to say AM. Someone said this. I need to get up the quote. Ultra saying, also, Europa League game was clear with Nunes, so we have loads of chances compared to Gakpo. Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe we might see it. Big up to K-Max saying, my biggest worry is winning the midfield. Jensen and Norgard are very strong. They are. Big up to Donovan Davidson saying we need to start fast and actually score first. If not, we will fall into placid football. We will, because they'll just set up. Big up to Hamza. I hope you're doing well. Big up to yourself. Who else have we got here? Let me get some more comments. Big up to AN, man. Hope you're doing well. Nah, thank you to you, man. Thank you too. Listen, the thanks is all from my perspective, man. Big up to yourself. And now they're saying, I don't like the way Gomez doesn't go on the outside. He always cuts in and squares the ball, but I agree Simicas is too sus at the moment. Yeah, I hear that, but he's right-footed. I mean, what you're going to do if you try to force him to play with his left foot, it's not going to be as good. And he's not talking about like the best technical player in our team. I think he's technically sound, but to use his left foot consistently on a consistent basis is difficult. I think even like a Milner understands the game a bit more. And we had the same issue with Milner, but we played it a bit differently. He'd always run to the byline, but then cut in to go and put a ball in. So when he was covering that left back for that one season. Mike Das, big up to yourself, saying Klopp is trying to play metal football with a tin cup. He needs to adjust the tactics to what we have, but he won't. The thing is, I agree to a certain extent. But the players he signed, unless you're going to go and play with a midfield of Gakpo, Gravenberch and Szoboszlai that are all technical but can also run as well, you're never going to be able to go and do it because Endo, Elliott, McAllister are not that type of player. And even Andre, to go and get him, from what I've seen, he isn't a heavy metal type of footballer. Thiago isn't a heavy metal type of footballer. Bajcetic isn't a heavy metal type of footballer. Even though he's probably more so than the rest. So having these players in our team means that we're not going to get that same type of football. And I think Klopp's just sometimes still caught in between the two styles for me. Angel saying, JJ, we have numerous 6 feet players, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, Gakpo, and Nunes, who aren't dominant in the air. They need to improve in the air. I agree, man. Cool. I'm going to get into my score predictions now. Before I get the link to you guys, I'm going to go with, and I was wrong. I was wrong against Toulouse. I thought we'd win 3-1. We lost 3-2. So I don't know whether I should go with what I'm feeling or go with my Liverpool hat on. I went with my Liverpool hat on last time and it didn't really work. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win to Liverpool. Now, this is the last time I'm going with a Liverpool hat on because if they do me dirty again, I'm going to go with my head. I think it will be it will be a difficult game. It will be a very difficult game. However, I think Liverpool will be able to get through it in this game purely because of Anfield, and I'm putting a lot of onus on the fans. I think Liverpool, Anfield, look, we don't lose to Brentford historically, and I don't want this to be the first game that we lose to Brentford. I don't want us to draw either, so I'm being quite positive. Now, though, asking, is Ryan available for this game? I don't think he is, bro. I don't think he is. Ultra saying, when's the call-in show? Soon, bro. After I do the score prediction, I'm going to put the link in the chat. We've got Captain Sal saying 3-1 Liverpool. I hear you. We've got Phil Bidwell saying 2-1. We've got John saying 2-2. Ensman saying 2-1 as well. Yeah, great minds think alike, bro. You ain't got them red tinted glasses anymore. So I like it. I like the realist from Ends. We've got Warrior EU saying 3-2 us or 2-1 us. It's going to be close. I can't lie. I hear you. Go with 3-1 again, JJ. K-Mac. Boy, you're going to get burned, bro. You're going to get burned. I hope you don't. For our sake. Ramstan saying 2-1 as well. And we've got Kopat saying 3-1 Liverpool. So a lot of positives for Liverpool. We've got one draw, which is obviously from John. So that's really, really going to be interesting, man. We've got Ram saying 1-0, hoping for an Ali clean sheet. The thing is, I don't see Liverpool getting clean sheets like that this season. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to pass now. I don't think he's going to win the clean sheet award anytime soon this season. Alisson, no matter how good he is. We've got Angel 968, who actually, I think, got the score right against Toulouse, saying 2-2. Unfortunately, we seem to miss opportunities to climb the table. Bro, I hear that. Big up to This Is Football. We've got Hussam in the building saying, can we ban Ibrahim? Why ban him? Let me know. Let me know, bro. Why should we ban him? Why should we ban him? Hussam saying, Endo as a DM makes me scared. You know what? He doesn't make me as scared as seeing Tsimikas at left back. And I think that's the problem for me. Because I was actually thinking about, do we play Endo at left back? Do we play Trent maybe play Gomez at right back and play Trent in the DM role? I don't see Klopp doing that, but I just don't see that happening. We got obviously Ram saying play McConnell. I don't know about McConnell, you know. I don't know about McConnell at all. Guys, make sure we're subscribing to obviously This Is Football as well, and we're subscribing to Ram at the Ram stand as well. Big up to your damn souls. Endsman as well. We've got Hussam saying, look, Endo got no pace, no power, won 0 duels versus Toulouse. He's a bloody... You know what? I hear that and it's mad. But I looked at the stats and his defensive stats are not too far off McAllister's. Like for the whole season. I know like Endo's played maybe like 11 games and McAllister's played 17, yeah? And McAllister's stats are terrible, like from a defensive midfielder. And I know people are saying, you know what, McAllister's not a DM. He's not the DM that we're looking at. And I get it. Like we're going to get one. And he's playing out of position and all that type of crap. When are we just going to be honest and be like, maybe Klopp brought him in as a DM? Maybe Klopp wants to play this DM. It's crazy. We got Hussam saying, obviously, yeah, but Endo's playing against Lask. But yeah, then he's playing with like the team's dead though. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be interesting. K-Mac saying Endo last game 5-0 ground duel should have been sent off to. Copite saying McConnell is better than Endo. JJ, can you categorically say Endo is better? Ibrahim, I have to, for the sanity of myself, I have to believe that the midfielder that Klopp praised, that he looked dead in the camera and said, we got something special with this one, and I hugged him and there was so much PR around him. I've got to hope that he's better than McConnell. That's not even the bare minimum. That's just expected. Like a signing that we made from Stuttgart, the captain, right? It's going to be better than some random brother McConnell who's like a basic left back. He's a basic youngster. He's no worldie. So, bro, I don't know, man. I don't know. Hussam saying, look, obviously, what we need a DM with 99 strength, 99 tackling, full on physicality. Bro, the thing is, we do, but Klopp doesn't want this. Klopp doesn't want it. He's wanted Thiago. He's got McAllister. He's trying to get Andre, apparently, or we're looking at getting this. We're not looking for a DM like that. So I don't know, man. We've got Ramstan saying McConnell was a midfielder. I'd play him at DM. I don't know, man. I don't know. All right, people. I'm going to get the link into the chat now. Yeah, and let's have a chat, man. Let's have a chat. I haven't done this in a long time. I feel like a call-in show, a virgin. Is that what I should call it? How do I start this? How do I do this again? I'm gonna put it in the chat. Let's see how many people hop on. If not, I'm gonna hide it. I'll keep it pinned. But yeah, comments in the chat. Yeah, Ends, man, this is your fault, bro. This is your fault. You wanted a call-in, so I made sure you got a call-in. There we go. People are coming in. All right. Say no more. We got Ali Nassan. I thought the aliens got me. They did, bro. They did. I'm waiting for some more people to come and make sure it's full. Once it's full, I'm gonna have to just we'll go through. Couple more people. All right, cool. We're gonna start. Let's go, bro. All right. Someone's gonna have to. I'm gonna have to go to this person. There we go. He's there. All right, cool. Ram saying I nominate JJ to play DM. Yeah. You know what? Do what it is though. If I was to play DM right now, yeah, it'll be like Verge playing DM, and I'm not gonna be running about like that. And do what it is. It'll be a cross between Gomez and Verge playing that DM. I'll be a bit more aggressive. We both have knee injuries and that, but nah, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work in the Liverpool style of football. I'm gonna be deadly honest with you. But cool. Say no more. Let's bring the first person on, Mr. John.
Yo, what's going on?
Big up, man. How you doing? By the way, the music is cold. Mrs. loves the music. We love the music. Play it in the car.
No, I appreciate it, man.
Everyone's loving the music. So big up to yourself, man.
No, I appreciate it for real. No, big up the
What you
chat,
saying, man? Long time no speak.
Yeah, no, bro. Work, man. Work has been.
I hear you, bro.
It's one of them ones, but yeah, man. Just thought I'd just come on, man, because I haven't started facing a while. Well, you haven't done the calling show for a bit, so
yeah. Do you know what it is? You might never deserve the calling show. Now I'm chatting. Do you know what it is? When you do a calling show, a lot of time, because you've got people on, you need a lot of time. You need time to let people. I don't like being like giving people 2 minutes and then you're chopping. Like we ain't got hundreds of people, so I like to people give time to speak. And when you don't, it just drags on. But yeah, man, I'm here. We're chilling. Let's go, man. Let's get into it.
Yeah, no. Obviously going into this game, me personally, I'm not really. I'll be real. I don't really know what to expect because it's like every game is like a. You just don't know what's gonna happen. Like even during midweek, like I went into the game midweek thinking, okay, yeah, I think a 2-1 win because obviously the atmosphere just with French football in general is crazy. So I thought a modest 2-1 win would be like realistic, but that performance was just like that was worse than the Luton game. So going into the Brentford, I think like this will be even more of a harder test because of what Brentford are on, and also like I think you made a point as well, or someone in the chat made a point. The way here we go, Klopp. Sorry, but yeah, now Brentford do like to do like the inside cross, or they like to cram in a lot of bodies when they're doing set pieces. And we've had problems with that in the past as well. I remember the 3-3 game we had with them 2 seasons ago. And a lot of their goals were like just cramming every man in the box and that, and just,
Facts.
You know what I mean? I feel like we are not well equipped to deal with that like we were a couple of seasons ago. So I don't think our defense is strong enough at all. It's just very poor. It really is. Like left back. I'd struggle to think why we gave Tsimikas another.
Do you know what it is for me? I feel as though, as a unit, I know it's mad to say, you know, when you've got the likes of like a Hendo, a Genie, a Milner in the team, even a Robbo when he's in that environment, there's an onus on the team, like we're defending together. Like there's like a pride in it. Like you saw it. You'd see them doing last minute challenges. You got Milner slapping man on the pitch. Like it's that level of bro, scrap. I don't care what you're doing with the ball. I'm still going to
Yeah.
slap you in your face. Like, even people criticize Hendo a lot of the time, like, for his footballing abilities. Fair enough. And a couple of times they'll be like, why is he telling this person to say whatever? Because, yeah. But in general, even having someone like that that's keeping you on your toes means that from a defensive standpoint, you're always switched on. Even if you're arguing with me about it, saying, nah, but it was me and I've got that player, you're already talking about the defensive side of the game. It seems as though going forward, it's like all fun. But defensively, it's like they're calm in it. And it's like, Verge isn't even in a stack. Verge does this thing where, like, you know what, someone's out of position and he looks at them and gives them a stare. But as a team, there isn't like a collective, like, we're going to defend together. And I always look at the Chelsea team of like the Mourinho Chelsea team, even the Conte Chelsea team, where you can see they love defending as a team, which meant they were so good. And I think back in the day, we'd go and win games 1-0, and it wasn't always slapping teams up, but you could tell, like, all right, cool, we're in a situation, we're slapping these players on, and defensively we're going to be solid.
Yeah, no, I fully agree. Like, I don't feel like I feel like the characteristic traits that Hendo brought in terms of like galvanizing everyone together in where it mattered most, which was defending or keeping the ball at a certain point during the game where we needed to like defend and whatnot. We don't have that voice. I don't think Virgil is that voice. Like, he leads in his own way, but not in the way which, like, I feel is like conducive enough for us to like be solid at the back, in my opinion. You know, and I feel like the only other voice, maybe, I don't know, maybe Robert was probably that voice second to Hendo, but then at the same time, just before Robert got injured, I feel like Robert was making certain silly mistakes of his own to where it's like,
yeah,
you know, I don't know, man. I don't know. And even with the DM thing as well, I'll be so real, man. Like, I said it in the chat just before, during the chat, like, I won't even mind calling back Tyler Morton, you know. It's that bad.
Tyler Morton?
Yes. Like, I feel like anyone we have right now with one of the youths that are just a midfielder, I feel like they can just do a job better than Endo. And it's not, and I always say, like, for me, it's not Endo's fault because he's won the lottery playing for Liverpool. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you know, I think it's just been negligence again. It's the whole Artur thing yet again, which I don't think a lot of people are clocking. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. So I'm going for a draw. I think attacking wise, both teams will be strong. I feel like defensively, I think that's where we're going to fall short. And yeah, I think that's just going to be the nature of the season. To be honest with you, I don't really have no expectations for this whole season. To be honest with you, I don't really have expectations for Europa League. Domestically, I don't think we're good enough. I think it's just so much yin and yang with the team where you can't really get a gauge of a consistent run for me personally. So yeah, that's just where I stand, to be honest.
I hear you, man. I hear you. All right, man. Appreciate you coming in as always. I'll catch up with you. I'll give you a message later on, man. Privately,
man.
Man.
Sure.
Hope you're doing well. Nice to see you.
Right, much love.
We'll chat, bro.
All right, nice one.
Yeah, big up to John, man. Big up to John. Look, I saw a little comment here quickly, people, before I get the next person on. We got Ram, yeah, saying, "Oh, JJ, I thought your boy cutting FSG and yet you're buying Liverpool merch." All right. I'm buying Liverpool merch, yeah. I bought this just to prove to people, yeah. Oh, come on, where is it? I just snipped it. Oh, there we go. Hold on. Let me find it. There we go. All right, cool. Just showing you guys, just to show you guys, yeah, just to know I am boycotting Liverpool merch. I bought this in 2021, people. You take good care of your clothes and it should last a long time. So it's cold, but this is from 2020, bro. This is a 2020 top that I bought in 2021. I mean, on sale. Yeah? Just letting you guys know. It's there. All right, cool. I always got the receipts, Ram. Always got the receipts. You can't catch me up. Anyway, you got the next person coming on. We got CNA. Is this Cal's Nato Army, yeah? Is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. What are you saying, bro?
Bro, what are you telling me? I ain't heard from you in a while. What's going on?
Nah, listen, I'm good, man. You know what I mean, man. Yeah, it's been a while that me and you have talked, man, because I think this is the first time in like what 8, 9 months that you did a calling show, and I don't think I was even on that calling show when you did it as well. So it's probably what like I think the last time we talked was after the Ajax game in the Champions League last year, man. I think that's
after we
when
got knocked out.
yeah,
It was probably after we got knocked out. Yeah.
yeah. I think he did a calling show with G, man. Big up G, by the way. And I think that's when I jumped on, man. Yeah, I remember. I think that was the last time we talked. So listen, man, it's been a little while, man. How you doing, brother? How you doing, bro?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. The Cows Network Army is reignited, isn't it, this season, man? You man are getting members again. You know what I mean? Like, Network's turning up.
Listen, man, I can't talk on Pedro Neto on it, but listen, I always knew he was a baller, but the injuries again, man. You know what I mean? Listen. I'm a Liverpool fan. You know, we're all Liverpool fans. I've been burnt enough by Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and Naby Keita for me to ever sign like injury-prone players, man. I can't do it to myself. I can't do it, man. I love Pedro Neto, but until I see 2 clean seasons of him, not injured, then 100% I'm there. 100%. Other than that, I can't do it, bro. I can't.
Yeah, I
That's
hear
just
that, man.
me.
I hear that.
I love Neto.
But chat to me, man.
He ain't
What's
that
Liverpool
guy.
saying, though?
Um,
How are you feeling this season? It's
Liverpool.
obviously different. When we were speaking last season, it weren't great. So obviously, we're in a different situation now. But chat to me.
It's a new season, new players, new midfield. I don't count Endo because I think he needs to get sold next summer. That's just my personal opinion. He's won the contract, or no, he's won the lottery of being a Liverpool player, probably the highest he's ever going to be in his career. So just move on. So I'm actually quietly happy and impressed with how Liverpool started the season. I thought Liverpool would be in a top 4 battle. It looks like the way that Liverpool have been performing this season has been a little bit better. Personally, in my opinion. I think our ceiling is a bit higher than top 4. I'd say our ceiling is probably top 2, top 3. I don't think we'll win the Premier League. I think there's too many deficiencies in the squad, personally, in my opinion, for us to win. I don't think that we control games good enough. I don't think we have the defensive control in terms of when team attacks us. And listen, I banter this team a lot, but I think Arsenal, Man City are much better than us in terms of controlling the opposition attacks. I think that's what we need to master, man. I think for us to do that, I think we need a DM. I think we need a left back. I think is Trent good enough defensively to be a right back now? Probably. I wouldn't be mad at it. And I know a lot of people are not going to think about it. I think we need a new left winger, man. I think we need a new left winger as well. On top of that, I think left back, DM, and a left winger. I think we need new starters in those positions. I think we need a backup at right wing as well.
Yeah.
But that's it. But we just need more structure in our team, personally, in my opinion, for us to go to the next level.
You do, man. I've got a question for you before you head off, though. Yeah. Obviously, there's rumors that this might be the final chapter in Salah's obviously journey with Liverpool. If he leaves this summer, how far do you think that sets us back, or do you think this season can be that foundation where we can move on?
Well, I mean,
and not have too big of a drop off, because of course there's going to be a drop off when Salah leaves. But what we don't want is to be in a situation where, like Arsenal were when Sanchez left, and then Arsenal were just all over the place after that. You know what I mean? We want to be in a situation where we're more or less at the same level, even though one of our best players that Liverpool's ever seen obviously is left.
Yeah, I understand that. It's always going to be difficult to lose a player that carries 30% of your entire team's GA. It's going to be very hard to replace that player. It's going to be very hard to find a player like for like that. I think personally, there's only one player in world football in terms of on the wing that can offer you Mohamed Salah's GA right now, and that's Kylian Mbappe. I don't think anybody else can offer you that type of GA. Not Vinicius Jr., not Kvaratskhelia, not Rafael Leao. The only person is Kylian Mbappe. And just to have breaking news, Liverpool are not getting Mbappe. So we're gonna have to probably replace Mohamed Salah in the aggregate, man. I think if Mohamed Salah goes, we'll have to change the way that we play. I think the team that we tailor towards right now is heavily tailored towards Mo Salah or a Mo Salah contribution, because he either hangs the touch line and Virgil van Dijk does that diagonal ball over to him, switches it, and then Mo Salah gets the ball 1-on-1, and either he creates a chance by crossing it or passing it, and he leaves space open. I think we're gonna have to change it, in my opinion. We're gonna have to change it in the aggregate. I think if we're gonna talk about a potential Mo Salah replacement, I think the best player out there. But again, if you're replacing Mo Salah, it's gonna be left-footed, isn't it? So it's going to be a tough task to replace him left foot. Me personally, I've been watching a lot of RB Leipzig this season, and for me, I am so moved by Xavi Simons. I know he's also called contracted by PSG, but by any means necessary, go get me that kid, man. We have to go get Xavi Simons.
But is he not more of a midfielder, kind of midfield / number 10?
Yeah, but I think he's been playing on the wing a lot more recently. And I know he's on the left wing, but he broke through a PSV, if I'm not mistaken, at right wing. And the guy is top class, man. He's top class. And I know some people are saying early, saying whatever. That's what I mean. It's not gonna just be one player that replaces Mo Salah. It's gonna have to be multiple players that replace Mo Salah. And I think if you have to get rid of Mo Salah, you're gonna have to get some. You're gonna have to change your structure, in my opinion. In terms of, you're gonna have to probably get a new centre back. Because if I'm not mistaken, Matip's contract expires in 2024. Tsimikas, I would love for him to get sold next summer as well. Thiago leaves next summer. Adrian, if we give Adrian another contract, yeah, man.
Adrian's gonna get that contract, man. Adrian's gonna get that contract. He told, listen, we need you on the decks. We need you spinning the tunes in the change room, man.
Hey, yo, JJ, I'm being serious, brother. Anyhow, this brother gets another contract, man. And you just listen. We all know this brother is gonna get a contract with if he gets another contract. Imagine he gets like a £2,000 increase on his contract. That's gonna vex me, That's gonna vex me, bro. Yeah. He can't get that new contract, man. So listen, that's gonna be a couple of players off the wage bill, in my opinion. So listen, man, I think it's exciting times, but it's worrying times at the same time for Liverpool right now, man.
We're in a bit of limbo, innit? We're in a bit of limbo.
100, man. But listen, all I was gonna say before I go in it, I know G's been talking about it for a couple of times. So I wanted to ask you, man. Genuinely to anybody in the chat as well. I've been watching Luis Diaz since he's come back from injury, and listen, I don't want it to be a Luis Diaz slander or whatever, because listen, the guy's gone through something horrific, something that I've never gone through as well. So I don't want it to be like a hey, Luis Diaz thing. Listen, I like Luis Diaz. I love his character, whatever. But when I'm watching,
hello, Cal's not army.
Watch Luis. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, did I cut out?
Yeah, you cut out. Yeah.
Oh my bad. All I was gonna say was, you watch Luis Diaz play. Yeah. What does he do other than provide with? Because I'm watching him and I'm just saying to myself, he don't be his man anymore. He just runs into his opposition or his opposition opponent all the time. His passing and crossing ability is non-existent. His chance creation for me is very, very needy. I think ever since that injury, he hasn't been the same, man. So that's what I wanted to ask you. What do people see in Luis Diaz? The only thing that he does very well, in my opinion, is he hugs the touchline, which gives us more space to deal with in terms of the midfielders. But what else does he do? I was just going to my question to you.
Do you know what it is? What I'd say, he's one where he gives us something different from what we've got. So, like you said, he hugs the touchline, he runs in behind, and he makes that run that Mane would make beforehand, which is the out to in run. Hence why we've seen a couple of goals where, he scored against Luton to give us the equaliser. Against Chelsea, he got their back post. I remember a pass came into him, I think it was against Spurs, and he missed it. But he makes that run for us. The others don't make that run. And I think that's what he gives us right now. Whether he's the final solution, I'm not too sure. Of course, injuries happen in form, but that's what I'd say, man. That's what I'd say.
I think his most important attribute, in my opinion, was his dribbling and his ball carrying. And I think ever since that injuries happened to him, it's taken a lot out of him. And for me, he's never been the best at his decision making. He's never the best creator, in my opinion. And let's just say Mohamed Salah leaves in it. Are we gonna sit here and say that Luis Diaz now is safe or something? Because let's be real, Salah is covering for a lot of man. His GA covers for a lot of players in that front line. Luis Diaz, if I'm not mistaken, he's averaging, since he's been at Liverpool, he's averaging what, 1 GA a month? That's terrible.
I agree. It's not. It's Luis Diaz's average isn't better, but I think his end products become better this season. I think personally, although his dribbling's his best attribute, Klopp doesn't utilize it as well because Klopp doesn't play him in the same way he did when he first came to Liverpool. When he first came to Liverpool, I remember Klopp specifically saying, "What we want from Luis Diaz is just to do what he's good at because we haven't got time to teach him what we want from him as a Liverpool player." So when he came in, you could see he was a bit of a maverick. Even the beginning of last season, what happened? Before he got the injury, he was poor when we played in the system. When we'd go a goal down, he'd get the ball and he'd do something himself and get us a goal or he'd get us an assist or he'd beat his man. Now that he's playing more in the system, he's doing more of what Klopp wants him to do, hence why I think he starts a lot of games. I don't think he's the same Luis Diaz that we saw. And I think that sometimes we need to look at.
Isn't that an issue though as well? Because, Jerry, the one thing I've caught on to Diaz, and I've always said this to you, I think I said this to you and G the last time we were talking. Every time I watch Luis Diaz, it's like he only turns up when the team is, in my opinion, losing or something. And he has to turn up and carry it. I don't see him turn up when we're winning or because the team itself is like really playing well.
No, I mean, he has done. I mean, he scored that nice overhead kick to equalize. I think it was against Bournemouth, if I remember correctly. Scored like he's been from an output perspective, he's been much better. But you're not going to see the same Luis Diaz that you want to see and that you think is his best attribute because Klopp doesn't like that from his players. He doesn't like that, as in when Mane, we didn't see this. Mane was different in terms of he was very direct in how he dribbled. Diaz is much more skillful, and we don't use our players in that way because they need to come inside, which means there's less space.
It's not tactics, though, Jerry. That's the issue. It's not tactics for me. It's what's happened to him in terms of the injury. That's my issue.
Okay,
the injury's taken a lot out of him.
Yeah, I think it's personally tactics, if I'm being deadly honest, but it's something to definitely to discuss. I'll definitely chop up. To be fair, G's gonna.
Hey, Jerry, watch the games. Can you do me a favor, Jerry? From now on, can you start watching Diaz more closely? That's what I'm gonna ask you. Just start watching him a little bit closer.
I'll have more. Guess what? We'll come off now, but I'll have more call-in shows, so we'll chop it up more as well. So I'll have one more regularly, and then we'll go in. I'll actually start to have a look. You might be right, but from what I see, if I'm being honest, from an output perspective, I think he's gotten better. I think he doesn't do what he's naturally good at, but I think it's due to the system. I don't think Klopp and this kind of maverick style of player works really well. Shaqiri was a great example of that. Mane was different in that regard. Sturridge was very much a maverick player. It didn't really work. Klopp doesn't like that. Klopp likes his system. His system overrides everything else. But that's the way I look at it. But bro, we need to get. So we've got loads of callers in the background. So I need to move on to them. Big up to your damn self for calling in, and we'll definitely chop it up soon, man. All right, big up to Cows Now Army, man. Big up to yourself. We're gonna get the next caller on. Apologies, that took quite well. We got Mike Das.
Yo, how you doing?
What's going on, bro?
How you doing? I don't think I've ever been on here before.
No, you haven't, man. Loving the Costco jumper, man. It's cold.
Dude, I go to Costco at least once a week. It's my favorite place on earth. So
yeah, the American one's so much different from the UK one, man. The UK one's garbage in comparison.
You guys have Costco there?
Yeah. But it's not as flamboyant. Like you can't go in there and get the same TVs and the same it's a bit different. It's a bit different. The food's much better in the American one as well. But big up to yourself, man. Good to see you.
I got you. Yeah, well, I mean, it's the only place on earth where you can. I mean, I have Costco underwear, Costco sweatshirts, Costco. I'm wearing Costco pajama pants right now. I go a little bit overboard. I hear you. It's my favorite place ever. But yeah, I mean, Okay, I guess just to start real quick, I'd like to just make a few points and then talk to you about the upcoming game. With Brentford.
Go
I
ahead,
think
bro.
first and foremost, I think as a fan base, we've seen 500 minutes of Endo football. And I think it's safe to say that this guy is not the answer. I think that at best, he's someone that comes in, we're up 2 goals, we're up a goal, it's the 80th minute. Or maybe, he comes in and he's in a leg of the Europa League where we've got a 2-goal lead and we need to save some legs. He's not going to start in the Premier League. Otherwise, Klopp would have done it by now. Against teams prior to this, there's been 11 games. Klopp would have utilized him. And he hasn't done anything to prove to me that he even has the ability. He doesn't have the pace. He doesn't have the power, as Hussam likes to say. And ultimately, I think that the problem it's not even Endo. And that's the funny thing about it. You know what I mean? The problem is that Jurgen Klopp has the power to sign players like Endo, and that Jurgen Klopp even has power like that at this club, and that we haven't addressed the sporting director yet, and that we still have George Schmadtke in. I want Max Eberl in this club right now, like before the game even starts tomorrow, before January. Get him in now, because we need a real sporting director who's going to take power away from Klopp and keep him from making signings like Endo. Because honestly, Endo looks like a panic buy at the end of the window. You know what I mean? But either way, just to kind of get that out of the way. I think
quick question on that before we move on.
Yeah, for sure.
First of all, why do you think Endo was signed in that regard? And another point, how long did it take for Fabinho to get put into the side?
Okay, so
I'm actually asking. So
I love the Fabinho argument, because Endo's 31 years old. Fabinho was 26. You know what I mean? So if Endo was 26 years old, I would have a totally different view on this. That's why I have a totally different view on Darwin. I love Darwin because Darwin's 24 years old, and I don't expect Darwin to be world class. I'm giving him more time because of his age, if that makes sense. Endo's 31. Endo, this is not something that I'm willing to give time for. You spent $20 million on him. You could have gone to the Argentinian league and bought some random dude who's 20, and I would be happy if that person was playing at the same level, because I'd say, you know what, at least there's the possibility that this person could turn into something else. But Endo's 31, and there's no possibility that he's going to turn into anything else or improve on anything else at his age. So,
do you think then Klopp or the club giving him a 4-year deal, doesn't that indicate that they see he's going to get better? Maybe when they're signing him, they're looking at the metrics in terms of, I know his age might be 31, but his metrics suggest he's not a 31. Whereas Fabinho, at 26, we're signing him. By the time he's 30, we want him out of the club, because it's oh my God, this guy, he's older than he says he is. Maybe that's the way they're looking at it. I don't know. I'm playing devil's advocate.
No. I got you. I guess maybe the way I should kind of clarify this is, I'm not saying that Endo is a terrible footballer. I'm just saying that Endo is not the quality player who is going to improve you to the point where you can then make a challenge towards the title. If my goal was to make top 4, I'd say fine, sure. If I'm looking for a 70-point season, I'm okay with Endo. I'm fine with it. I'm happy with it. If I want to challenge City, Endo cannot play in the Premier League. It cannot happen. He cannot be making appearances in the Premier League because he's just not up to that level. And I think that Jurgen Klopp has had a history of making poor signings. Some of them have come due better than others. Some of them have had moments, but they very well could have thought the way that you just said, and they could have just been wrong. You know what I mean? And it wouldn't be the first time. But ultimately, the bigger problem is that we don't have a sporting director, and I think that's the biggest problem at this club. Because I would have rather spent the $20 million on a prospect than spent it on Endo and be in the same spot. I'd be like, if the prospect wasn't performing, I'd say, you know what? He's 21. Who knows? He's got time. We go again. Endo, he's 31. This dude's only going to get slower. You know what I mean? There's a few amount of players on the face of the earth who get better with age. Salah being one of them. And I am not going to put Endo in the category of Salah. It's not going to happen. But either way, going on to tomorrow's game, I think that, our biggest problem is playing bad teams. Our biggest problem is playing teams that don't play football. They don't come at us, right? That's why we sucked against Toulouse. That's why we sucked against Luton, because we play this possession football that doesn't work. Like Klopp is trying to play this, Jamie Phillips kind of said it, this total football, this Johan Cruyff, this beautiful game, you know what I mean? This possession-based game. But we're really bad at it. Like, we're not good. We're super slow on the ball. We're lethargic in build-up. We concede stupid counterattacks, a.k.a. Tsimikas. Like, was it a terrible play? Sure, but, like, Tsimikas shouldn't have the ball in that situation. We should not be going backwards more than we're going forwards ever in a game. But yet the entire team just seems totally content with accepting that. You know what? It's okay. I'm just going to kick it back to Allison for the 45th time this game because I don't care. I'm not trying to score goals. I just want to stay on the pitch. That's it. And if you look at our goals with the way that we play this game, the funny thing is that we don't even score playing possession football. We score in transition. We score when we make a mistake, the opposing team attacks, they get bold, they open up, and then we create a mistake, and then we score. So it's like we're not even scoring with the way that we're playing. We're scoring in transition, which is just chaos, which is why Darwin works so well, which is why Darwin has found success this season, because he's great in transition. He's horrible in possession play. He's horrible at it. And so I understand, yes, he's missed a few sitters. I get it. It's inexcusable, but it doesn't change the fact that it doesn't suit his game. And I don't think it suits anyone's game. I don't think that it makes Salah look better. I don't think it makes Szoboszlai look better. I mean, maybe with Thiago, you can make an argument that this would be different if we had someone back there who was press resistant, who could hold the ball. But at the same time, like in the back of my mind, I'm thinking it would just be the same thing. It would just look flashier. Like we would still suck in possession, and then we would just end up scoring in transition. So going into tomorrow, I know it's unrealistic, but I'd be okay with Endo playing if we just stuck Nunez and Salah on the halfway line and we had everyone else. We had 9 men back and we just played a low block and we played counterattacking ball. Like I would rather see us do that for every game for the rest of the season than try to play this possession football, because it's not going to work against poor teams and we're going to drop those points and then we're not going to win the league. And that's the problem. Like we are in 3rd place. We have 24 points, but we know we're going to get these results against teams that don't play the game. That's why we do well against good teams. That's why we beat City. I mean, honestly, we did exactly what I'm saying against City last year. We beat them. But I also think that that's why we play really good with 10 men. We've won 2 games this year with 10 men. And we looked amazing with 9 men. We looked threatening with 10 men against Tottenham. And why? Because we adapt and we have to sit back and we don't play this crazy, stupid possession game. We tighten up and we play quick, direct game and we create. And I think that, like, ultimately, we have a tactical problem at the club that I think a lot of us are overlooking, and it's being overshadowed by the fact that we're 3rd in the league and other teams are suffering. Like Arsenal, horrible right now. United, I know we're all taking the piss on them, but they've got 21 points and they're missing like half of their first team. You know what I mean? Like they don't even have Lisandro Martinez in. I mean, City, they're not up to par. Spurs, I mean, Spurs didn't get all those injuries. Who knows what handball could be right now? So you kind of get what I'm saying. I feel like it's just we have a major tactical problem that's being overshadowed by the results that we're putting out there. And Brentford is the kind of team that we're going to struggle against because they're not going to play football against us. You know, they're just going to sit back on the low block. It's crazy.
The thing is, what you're saying, I fully agree. Sorry, I'm just sorting out my camera quickly. What you're saying is facts. What you're saying is facts. And the only thing I would say is I actually don't see there being a case where Liverpool can play this counter-attacking football because teams respect us too much. If teams don't respect us, that's where we're dangerous. I always go back to, and I urge everyone to watch this if you're just into football, Pep Guardiola's All or Nothing, when he comes up against Liverpool, I think in the Centurion season, and he's there in the assistant coach and he's contemplating Liverpool saying, I don't know how to set up because we're a team that need the ball. So we can't give the ball to Liverpool to have the ball because they're still a good team, but they're more dangerous when we have the ball. And he was in this conundrum where they're a team that don't have the ball, but they're actually more dangerous in that situation. Now that's Liverpool to a team.
We're just flip-flopped.
And Klopp has always been like that. The problem is, that style of football isn't sustainable because it only works at a lower team when you're not the dominant force. Hence why Klopp's never been able to go and win a league, and dominate, because that style of football it's just not conducive. Not only do the players run out of steam and gas out a lot because of how they have to go and play, after a while, teams are like, oh, okay, we're going to give you the ball and try to break us down. Burnley's a great example. We went on that run. We faced Burnley at Anfield and they beat us. And they just sat back in a 4-4-2 and like, come on, beat us in this low block. Since then, and since we lost that, Klopp's tried to implement this possession style of football, and I've spoken about it a lot. We got rid of the likes of a Gini Wijnaldum. That was a type of player that allowed us to play the way we could and keep the ball really well. We got a Thiago who's a bit better on the ball. We've signed a McAllister who's a completely different profile to what we have. And, you know, we've seen the likes of Soboslai and Jones come out now and Gravenberch do really well in this system. When we have to break teams down, though, we struggle, and we are going to struggle because Klopp hasn't got an idea of what to go and do. He doesn't understand even the way we keep the ball, we don't keep the ball with a purpose. So when you see City keeping the ball, they're keeping the ball because they're like, all right, we're going to keep moving it until there's a gap. Liverpool keep the ball to bring the team onto them so there's space in behind, which means that if there's no space in behind, what we start to do, we pop shots from distance. With Henderson, and even now, we've seen crosses from deep to the back post. Henderson used to just balloon over. We've seen Soboslai do that now. And that's going to be a major issue with Liverpool, hence why when we were really bad, and people know on this channel, I was very much an advocate of saying, look, I don't think Jurgen Klopp's done as a manager, but I just don't see how he can take us forward, because until we can go and become a team that's better in possession, this is always going to be a problem, because unless you have a perfect season where everything goes your way, the counter press works, you can win games 1-0 where, you know, a last minute cross to the back post and Robbo wins it for you or Mane wins it for you, we're not going to be able to go and do what City do. And unfortunately, that's the bar. And especially when you've got a lot of the ball, that's going to be the key issue. So for me, the style of football is still to be wanted. I mean, it's much better than it was last season. But everything you said to me is spot on. Everything you said to me is spot on. And we've seen it. We've seen it in games where, you know, Real Madrid are the great example of it. You expect Real Madrid to have a lot of the ball and they do the reverse and say, you have the ball and we're going to sit back. And they trust their defense so much. It's just they counter us and it's over. Liverpool are in a situation where we can sit back yet, because when we've got numbers in the ball, we're still looking to press really high. And when you press really high, you can't sit back and play on the counter. Hence why I agree with your point again. 10 men and 9 men, we were fantastic.
No, I mean, listen, I don't have the answer to the problem. You know what I mean? I've been able to diagnose an issue that we have in this club, and it's not being addressed. And it's like a cycle. You know what I mean? It's like we go down 1-0. And then all of a sudden, like, the urgency comes, and then now all of a sudden we can play possession football, or we're more direct with our passing, and we're lofting them over. But, like, you know, ultimately, like you said, I think just the biggest problem is that we're not adapting the system to the players that we have at hand, rather than we're adapting the players to the system that Klopp wants to do. And yes, we are getting results. And yes, we're third. And I know that there's people saying we've only lost one Premier League game in 21 games, and it was, you know, bullshit because of the VAR. I get that. But, like, I still don't see a side that I think can challenge City. And, like, that's what I want. You know, I want to challenge City. I want to bulldoze these teams that are poor. I don't want to go into the same thing every time and say, all right, well, you know, here comes the stereotypical go 1 down and let's score 3, you know, because all of a sudden we pull our head out of our ass. And that's only going to be sustainable for so long. And, you know, again, it all just comes back to the sporting director having the right players, getting them in, not refusing to buy a 6 because you want a 19-year-old to have an unblocked path. But that's a whole can of worms. But either way, I'm glad we can see sort of eye to eye on it. But, you know, ultimately, Liverpool can go out and win 3-0, and then, you know, we put a blanket on it, and then we don't talk about it until we go to a Luton again and we lose. And it's like, am I Einstein here? Like, am I insane? Did we not just do this all last season and the beginning of this season? And now you're going to tell me that, oh, guys, we need to address this, like, right now. It's like, no, dude, this happens every game. Yeah. But either way, hopefully we smash them.
Exactly, man. Mike, that's great call. I'm going to do more of these. To have you on is going to be amazing. Really, really good, 100%. Obviously, to get on the call with you for the first time. And yeah, man, just keep up the research and the knowledge, because we're seeing eye to eye 100%, man. And
Big up,
great.
guys. Okay.
I like that's the way I move. So big up to yourself. And yeah,
Costco forever, baby. Thank you.
Yeah, no, take it easy. Yeah, big up to Matt Das. I think not only just to add to his point as well, when we've got possession of the ball, we pass the ball around, and it's as if the onus is on our individual players to go and create something. So you can see when we're in transition or when the players have to create something, they can do really nice 1-2s. But there's no real pattern of play. It's still very chaotic. City's so methodical, so it happens over and over and over and over again. No matter who they play in that position, they're going to do the same patterns. Liverpool's patterns are very, very different. Hence why we're a bit more unpredictable. And Neville's come out before and saying he really loves to go, and Liverpool has been his favourite team to watch because it's so, it's how he wants to go and see football played. But the mythology behind Pep's football means that, ultimately they are where they are, and of course with the money as well. But big up to Mike Das. Let's get the next caller on. We got a few more, so we got to keep moving. Big up to K-Mac.
Big up, Jerry. How you doing, mate? It's been a while.
How you doing, man? Yeah, it's been a while. How you doing?
I'm good. I've just been for dinner with the in-laws, so that's why.
I'm just seeing you all dressed up. About to say,
yeah.
You're dressing up for me. Like I know.
I got to put a tie up for your show, right?
Talk to me.
Look, we need to understand that this is Pep and Linda's team. This is Pep and Linda's tactics. Total football. Like, this is what he did at NEC. This is what they do at Holland. This is it. Like, this is the future. Like, we have to understand that. Like, Klopp's tactics ended last season, in the middle of last season, when we lost all those home games. And the owners came over and he realised, look, it's just not going to work now. So he needed some input. And the input came from Pep and Linda's. And this is what we're watching. We're watching the evolution of Liverpool. Look, the thing about it, there's a lot of people with doom and gloom, and it's rightfully so, because we have been very, very poor for a very long time. Okay, but we are still third. We're fourth in the league. If we win tomorrow, we go joint top. If Man City drop any points against Chelsea, there's a chance we could go ahead on goal difference. We're top of the league in the Europa League, and we're still in all the cup competitions. And Angel's right. We haven't lost in 21 games. And the game that we did lose, Luis Diaz scored a worldie that was ruled offside by some idiots who don't like Liverpool. As crazy as it is, we are still winning games and we're still not out of competitions. And we really haven't played well for a long time. Like, I can probably name maybe 2 or 3 games where we played okay football, like, seriously. But we are not good to watch. Like, we're knocking the ball around at the back like we did when we had Roy Evans and Graham Souness and that kind of football. Like, as soon as the centre-back gets it, you're on the edge of your seat thinking, oh my God, is that going to be a hospital pass into midfield? And then you've got your goalkeeper just literally just playing out of his skin every single game. And you can tell how much we rely on our goalkeeper, because Keller has been terrible this season, because the chances that teams get are really, really high percentage chances that they score. And that's the case against Keller. All our chances that we concede are really high goal scoring chances for the opposition. And the only reason we haven't conceded as many is because we've got the best goalkeeper in the world. We just have. And if we don't play him, we will lose games. We will lose games. And it's been proven against Toulouse away. Like, games that Keller plays, we can see goals under most shots on goal. And that's the thing about it. Like, Ali is that good. But the problem now is we're now in a transition where we've bought an entire new midfield. We're playing strikers differently. We're playing right backs and left backs differently. We're now transitioning in between matches where we're 4-3-3 and then playing this inverted and then doing box. And we are a bit of a mess. Like, it looks really disjointed. players aren't performing to the standards that they performed for the clubs that we signed them from. You know, players that we've got are underperforming, which don't underperform. You know, you're taking away the flair and the street baller from Núñez and Diaz. I spoke about this last year with you. Like, under Klopp, they will lose that spark, that 30-yarder goal, you know, that kind of, that gets you off your seat and makes you want to pay your fee to get to the game.
Núñez done it the other day in the Carabao Cup. You could argue he done it against Bournemouth the other day.
But that's the thing about it. It is going to become like when we brought on Elliott and Diaz against Luton, they just kind of threw everything to the wind. It was like Elliott was just pinging balls in. Like, he just kept on going to the wing and crossing it, and that's how we got our equaliser. Players are starting to just go, I need to do something different. Like, Salah's done it. He's like, we need to do something different. I need to create a chance now. I need to start becoming the guy that assists. You know what I mean? It's
look,
Pep and Linda's football, mate.
To combat what you're saying, I'm going to play devil's advocate for everyone.
Of course.
Szoboszlai's come in and done really well. I know he's obviously we're in a bit of a blip in terms of form. Do you know what I mean?
That's because Curtis Jones isn't playing with him, by the way.
Yeah, but Szoboszlai, I think Curtis Jones has been better since he's come in. I think Gravenberch has done really well. Verge,
not with Szoboszlai. Not with Szoboszlai.
Yeah, but Gravenberch's done well regardless, you could argue, since coming in. Verge apparently is a better Verge than he has been. Trent's performing better than he has last season, which we have to base it off last season, I guess. Salah, I think, is playing better than last season. Núñez is better. Gakpo's dropped off. Diaz statistically is doing better. Jota's been Jota. Overall, the team's done better. So is there not an argument to say that we might be boring and it might seem disjointed, but just as Angel's saying as well, we've lost one game, as you said, which is what you could argue we lost to the PGMOL. We're able to win games. We're more offensive than we have been in recent memory, even in the last 4 years, maybe, because that's our strongest that's our strongest point. And yeah, all is well. If we can just bring a DM, as some people are saying, that sorts out all our issues.
Does it?
You tell me.
But that's the thing about it, and that's what I can't get my head around. Like we're playing dire football. Like, it's not pretty football. Like, we're conceding first all the time. I think we've conceded first in like 8 out of 13 games this season. Like, it's going to get to a stage where we can't score the goal to equalise. Like, we won't be able to get that equaliser, or we won't be able to get that winner. It is going to catch up with us, you know, if you keep on doing this. But then you've got, like, Shimikas has got two goals, 2 errors that have led to goals. Trent's got 3 errors that have led to goals this season. Like I can't get my head around it. Like, it's crazy for me because if you play this badly in games, you lose. But we haven't, and we're still in all the competitions. So why are we complaining? But there's a lot of people complaining. Like, all of the people that have come on have complained about Liverpool, and I'm the one that sat here who normally complains about it, saying, well, it's not doom and gloom, but it's not great, and this is the future. Like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to carry on playing this way. Like, how does this get better? That's what I want to know, because Trent doesn't get better for me. For me, Trent's getting worse. And if we're gonna get Endo, who wouldn't get in 15 teams in the Premier League, mate. For me, there's only 3 teams in the Premier League he played DM in.
Is Trent getting worse? Is Trent getting worse, or is Trent just at a level now which is just his base level, and we're expecting
Gomez is going to end up taking Trent's place soon, because there's no way Klopp is going to put up with a player that literally walks around the pitch, literally just waltzes around the pitch like he's the best thing since sliced bread.
I mean, that's
Hollywood passes.
That's
when
the
he's
vice
got a man
captain
stood there calling for it.
I mean, that's the assistant. that's the vice captain, isn't it? So It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to go and see. But looking at the game, then, what you think Liverpool got this in the bag?
I think it's probably 3-1 again. I think we'll probably concede first, and then we'll probably win. Like it's written in the stars. But I do want Núñez to play every home game because the fans love him. Like Liverpool playing at Liverpool, we need the crowd. Like the crowd scare the opposition.
Of course.
Like, and if Núñez is running around, putting in tackles, having his 30-yarders, whatever, like 5 shots in the first 10 minutes on goal, then the fans are screaming and the fans are right behind the team, because we don't want dross like we had against Luton and Toulouse to creep into this game, because if the fans are quiet, then the other team can get on top of us. And it's happened a lot of times, but it happens away. And if Núñez starts, everyone's up for it. Like, as soon as Núñez gets the ball, everyone's shouting Núñez. And we probably go on and win it. And Diaz, I can't have people slating Diaz. Like, he scored 4 goals this season. He's probably got us a couple of points, like 6 points maybe. And I mean, he's just gone through. I can't even imagine what he's just gone through, to be fair, and still played. And this has been going on for weeks now. So, everyone just lay off Núñez. Like, just let him go and see his family, and give him a couple of weeks off. Like, he deserves it. Like,
I hear you.
For
I
me,
hear you, man.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, big up on the show, man. I'm sorry I haven't been on for a while, mate.
No worries. Listen.
You do your things in the afternoon, and I'm working.
No.
I would have seen that you were on, and I was like, oh.
Nah, it's difficult. We got a couple times. I've got I'm actually trying to compile a timetable, a schedule, so everyone knows what days we're on, and everyone knows. But as opposed to these random shows. But big up to yourself, K-Mac, as always. Make sure we're heading over to the K-Mac channel and subscribing as always. And yeah, speak soon, man. Speak soon, man. Yeah, man. I definitely agree with that comment there. I think the Diaz situation, with obviously the fact that he's obviously that parent situation, you've got to be quite careful with when we're doing that, man. But there we go. But yeah, big up to obviously K-Mac in the building as well. Let's get our next person on. I don't know if it's the real Minerals, but it's Minerals FC. What's going on?
I'm good, bro. I'm good, man.
What are you telling me? I'm good, man. I'm good. What are you telling me?
Yeah, I have to talk about Liverpool, man. This season, like, we've been going a lot behind in games. You know what I mean? And they're saying that you're playing Ollie ball, bro. You know what I mean? Comeback FC, relying on late winners. Like, and Liverpool have been getting lucky. I told you, bro. I told, man, that you guys have been playing unsustainable. But you're getting the results.
I mean, it's true. Some people are saying sustainable. Others, if I'm playing devil's advocate, will tell you that's mentality monsters. That's what Klopp will be talking about. Look, you're looking at it. People have been bigging up Spurs, and Spurs have dropped off a couple times. People were bigging up Arsenal. Arsenal have dropped off, yet Liverpool are still there or thereabouts. We win tomorrow, we're going ahead of Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? If we do that, I'll go and level on points with them. So
yeah, it is what it is, man. But for me, the Brentford game, I think they're gonna nick a result, man. Not being a hater, bro.
You think Brentford's gonna nick a result?
They're gonna make you have like 0 shots on target, like for like a few minutes, like where you're just crossing the ball to nobody, and they're gonna make it a scrappy game. You know what I'm saying? And then it's gonna, like how Everton did. The difference is that Everton can't score, right? Brentford can't score. You know what I'm saying? So if Mbeumo's on it, then you know what I'm saying, it could be rough, bro. You know how to hold on to a lead as well.
Yeah. I mean, when we're looking at the stats, though, and I read them out, I don't know if you were here earlier, just to chuck some stuff at you so you can obviously come back if you want. Liverpool have won all 8 of their games at Anfield in all competitions this season, all by a margin of 2+ goals. In the Reds' history, only from May to October 1980 have they won 9 consecutive home games by 2 or more goals. Liverpool have also gained the most points from losing positions in the Premier League. Brentford haven't kept a clean sheet in any of their last 16 meetings with Liverpool. Liverpool have won their last 7 home games against Brentford in all competitions, scoring 16 and conceding 1.
You won't score, but I was saying it will be tough. You probably lose like 2-1 in my opinion, man, because I have that feeling.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
Because I feel this comeback football is gonna catch you up, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like that's a fair point. That's a fair point. Like this type of football isn't sustainable, 100%. If you're always trying to go and come back.
Don't forget you have Man City next, bro.
Pardon?
The empty head. Don't forget Man City as well.
Oh, after this we got Man City, 100%. Yeah, we got Man City. But I think, if I'm being honest, big up to Mike that came on earlier. Liverpool would actually probably prefer to face a team like that, because the more expansive you are, the more chances we're going to have. I think we struggle with when teams want to sit.
City will score all the chances, bro.
Yeah, but Liverpool will also create a lot of chances. I think in the league we've created the most chances when you're looking at XG. And bear in mind, we play better in transition. So defensively, yes, that'll still be an issue. But going forward,
the game will be like 4-3. It's gonna be like 4-3 because you guys can't defend. Won't be able to defend Man City, because I feel like they're more clinical than you, bro. Because Haaland, you won't miss those tap-ins that Nunes does. You know what I mean? You never know.
Yeah, you never know. You never know in those games. But I'm saying it'll probably Liverpool prefer to play that game against City. Only backfiring on that one is obviously, as John's saying here, we're playing early kickoff. And when you look at Haaland's actually missed what, similar amount of big chances as well. I think City are just a better team overall. I think when they control games against smaller teams, that's just what happens. But I think
it's gonna be a good game between you guys. But I think City will take their chances and you guys won't.
Listen, I think that's a fair analysis, considering City are the Premier League champions and they've done back-to-back and they're looking for a three-peat. So I hear you, bro. But listen, appreciate.
By the way,
you go on.
By the way, man, being Klopp out, is wrong in behavior, bro.
Why is that wrong in behavior for anyone that's Klopp out?
That makes you the biggest wrong in the game, bro.
Why?
He's the greatest Premier League manager, bro. You have to be thankful.
So your greatest Premier League manager means that you live and die by your greatest Premier League manager, and there's no history or future after that. Just putting it out there for anyone that is Klopp.
Who's done better than Klopp at Liverpool? Who has?
No. The question isn't who's done better than Klopp at Liverpool. We can name a couple managers in our history that have done better than Klopp at Liverpool. In recent memory, of course, he's the best manager that Liverpool have had. What I'm saying, though, does that mean that after Klopp, Liverpool are done? Or Liverpool have to believe that we're done? There's nothing after Klopp is the be-all and end-all. Once Klopp goes, that's it.
Liverpool keep going on, you know what I'm saying? But it's going to be like Sir Alex, bro. Look at Man United without Fergie.
Exactly. But United, but you're talking about teams. If you're talking about United, or you even want to talk about Arsenal, you're talking about teams that weren't run very correctly. Yeah?
Liverpool.
I don't see, for instance, I think Pep Guardiola in recent memory is he's City's best ever manager in terms of what they've done. They've won the Champions League with him now. Yeah, however, I think if Pep Guardiola was to leave or retire from football, City, I still think, will be a very, very dominant team, purely because of the fact that they're very, very well run club. Now, I'm also not saying,
and don't forget their bread. Don't forget their bread as well.
Yeah, their bread, of course, 100% their bread. But from a fan's perspective, to think that your current situation, if you're not at the top of the tree, can't get better.
You've been landing the minerals, bro. Listen, bro, you've been landing the minerals lately, bro. You're showing character and coming back in games. Even though it's unsustainable, you still have to land it, bro. And Klopp's been... which managers won the Premier League apart from Klopp as well? So bro.
Now facts. Now listen, I agree. The problem is, if your argument is to say that, and fair, people have the argument, and I get it now, is Liverpool are doing much better now. So to go and be like talking about Klopp out, if you're in that thing, is
that
I can see how people can look at that controversy and be like, that's a bit mad because you guys are doing better, you sign players. I hear that 100%. What I'm trying to say though is, if Klopp doesn't win now a Premier League ever for the rest of his career at Liverpool and doesn't win the Champions League and isn't able to get to that level of success, are Liverpool still supposed to ride that out because he's our best ever manager in history? Or should Liverpool fans be optimistic to say that, look, because Liverpool have done it before, because these players have done it before, a manager can come in and maybe give them and reignite them to do something different before? I mean,
manager in the world, Ancelotti, right? He's about to retire from club football, really. And this, that, and the other. And these new young managers are nowhere near the level of Klopp, bro.
No, they're not on the level until they become on the level, because Klopp wasn't on the level until he became on the level. So you have to allow managers to get to that level. But that's besides the point. But I hear what you're saying, 100%. I hear what you're saying.
Exactly. Wanting Klopp out makes you the biggest wrong'un in the game. You know what I mean?
I don't know if it makes you the biggest wrong'un if you've got stats behind, if you've got an argument behind it. If you're saying it because you have an agenda, that's a bit different. But anyone can have their reasoning, though. Anyone can have their reasoning. I don't think. Yes.
Most of these glory hunting Liverpool fans had the biggest agenda on Liverpool last season. You know what I mean? It wasn't Klopp's fault last year. It was a blip. You
know? Oh, minerals. To state that, that's where I need to draw the line. If you're gonna go and respect a manager and respect him and call him, do you know what I mean, one of the best, and there's no better manager, and bar Pep Guardiola, there's only one manager, which is all true. There's only one manager that's won the Premier League. You got to put that respect on him. You got to put that leadership and that respect on him. You got to put that responsibility on him. Liverpool not playing at the level they were was down to the players and the managers, because the way we finished in the league should have never been the case with the players that we got.
It should have been top 4 last season.
Yeah, exactly. We weren't. So that's a failure on the manager. Now, to go and say it's a blip, that's fair. But to say that it wasn't Klopp's fault, that's where you're dissolving a manager from fault. And he's not a Ryan Mason that came in to take over Liverpool. This was his team. These are his players. We signed players. We signed a player for 85 million, and it didn't work out. You decided to keep players that you didn't want to keep. You didn't want to refresh your midfield. You decided to run it back. Of course, that's on the manager. We can't go down that route. But of course, he's doing much better this way. This route. But come on, minerals, big. Yeah, go on, man. Yeah, big up minerals, man.
Just think that Klopp deserves all the time in the world at Liverpool, because I've never seen such a good manager for Liverpool, man. And
yeah,
you can build a dynasty with him.
No, but the thing is, we can't. But this is the argument. Do you believe you can build a dynasty? Liverpool haven't built a dynasty once. In our most successful period, which was 3 seasons ago, we never built a dynasty. So to argue that Liverpool, but to argue Liverpool can now build a dynasty, I just don't see that happening. Even now, even if we were to win the league tomorrow, we're not going to build a dynasty. Like, it's impossible. I don't think that can happen with Liverpool for a multitude of reasons. But listen, I need to get a couple more people on before I head out. I've been on live for 2 hours now, but big up to your damn self.
Up the minerals, FC. You know what I mean?
There we go, man. All right, big up to yourself, bro. Take it easy. Yeah, man. Big up to we got John saying this take is lacking minerals. So, bro, we're gonna have to obviously get into that. We got a couple more, and then we're gonna head off. So let's. Do you know what I mean? Penultimate guy. We got Velvishwan. Big up to yourself.
This is Ultra, by the way.
Ultra, yeah. Why can't you put Ultra there? Why are you putting Velvishwan there?
Nah, it's just my name just kept on it. I can't be asked to change it. Get me?
What's going on, Ultra? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Excuse the fireworks in the background. You could just probably hear them.
No, I actually can't, man. But chat to me.
You can't hear them? Yeah, I'm good, man. Yeah. I think the first thing we should get on Endo, because I think that's probably the main talking point in this stream.
Cool.
I feel like us fans, we overanalyze things because we don't get what we want. Because I understand we went from Caicedo, Lavia to Endo, and probably Endo wasn't everyone's first choice. I mean, I'll rephrase that. it was definitely not everyone's first choice or third choice or second choice. But I feel like we overanalyze things because we don't get it, and he hasn't been that bad as people make him out to be. Because obviously it's a small sample thing, so you can't really fully judge him. Obviously, the last game he was absolutely poor. Like that's probably his worst game in the Liverpool shirt. But when I'm looking at the statistics, like compared to like players like Caicedo, he's actually made more tackles than Caicedo, won more ground duels than Caicedo, and that's why guy hasn't started many. And his thing, if you think Endo doesn't take us to the Premier League, I get it, because I don't think Endo takes us to the Premier League. But to write him off like that early on, especially when Klopp said today, like, I'm not sure if you heard what Klopp said. He said something about how Endo sort of reminds him of Robertson's situation when he first joined. Like he would start off slow. And here's the thing, DMs tend to start off slow in the Premier League. If you look at Rodri, it took him one whole season to get used to the Premier League, and then he started clicking. Not saying Endo could reach those levels, but I feel like Endo could be a great servant to us. You get me? I think he could do well, and just got given the opportunity. And this is the game for it against Brentford, because he obviously has to start, and hopefully he could put in a better performance than he did in the last game. Because I think prior to the last game, he's actually been very good, Endo. I've been impressed. The only thing I've been frustrated with is why Klopp's been taking on.
I think I agree. I think this hyper analysis of Endo comes because obviously he's playing for Liverpool, but in a season where obviously we had, and obviously in a transfer window where we had the whole palaver with Caicedo, Lavia, we get in Doucouré, we didn't get him, and then we end up with Endo, which is obviously Mike spoke of it of like as a panic buy. Klopp made it out as though he's been looking at him for years and he loves him and he can't wait to see what he is. And we gave him a 4-year contract. He's not what people want, and because he's not playing games, it does look from the outside as though, okay, well, Klopp's not rating him. I used the argument 100% of obviously Fabinho and Robertson. The fact that we give him a 4-year deal, I think, suggests to me that Liverpool are looking to kind of have him there for a couple seasons at least, minimum, which will obviously leave him with 2 years left on his contract at the age of 32, going on 33. I think he needs a big performance against a big team. So let's say he has a really good performance against Brentford. We go against City, right? And we beat City, but Endo's in that midfield and he has a game where he's eating everything up. He's tackling and he's winning all his duels and he's winning all his headers. That will he will go into that kind of category where people are looking at him and saying, okay, cool. This player now he's our cult hero, or we rate him the way, you know what I mean? People cheer for Nunes, people should be cheering for Endo because he's done something substantial for the club. I just don't think he was the first choice. No one really knew about him. And look, I get, as you said, I get it. There's no basis to start from with Endo. He's not of an age where he's necessarily going to get better. Can he become more consistent? I think he can. And look, I'm going to be honest. McAllister hasn't been that much better. I mean, apart from a ball over the top for Nunes when he had loads of time and space, he hasn't been fantastic, and the stats aren't too dissimilar when you're looking at their position.
Yeah,
so,
I checked it myself. It's not that far off with each other. And here's the thing, even with McAllister, his passing, Endo could do those passes as well. I've seen Endo do the long-range passing to the wingers. Like, I think even in the last game, he was terrible, but he still like 100% long passing accuracy. So he's a very good passer of the ball, Endo. But I don't think he's far off from McAllister, and that's where we need to divide it, because I'd rather give Endo more of an opportunity as a 6 than McAllister, because I've seen McAllister in the 6 so far this season, and I think what makes it worse because there's no Jones in the midfield. Because I feel like with Jones, you can see his work rate like more sort of the Genie Wijnaldum role with Jones. I got a debate into a Liverpool fan today, so it's like, oh, how is he close to Genie? He should not be in the squad. I was like, if you can't see what Jones provides, then obviously we're not watching the game, because Jones provides so much for the midfield. It actually helps the DM and helps Szoboszlai more in the midfield when he does like the dirty work and that. And that's what we're missing. Even when Gravenberch is out as well, that's what we're going to be missing. And with Endo, like, we have to give him time, and until we just get that proper 6 in January. And
I mean, that's the argument again. Like, people, and this is for everyone in the comments, we keep talking about, like Jones is my guy I spoke about. We keep talking about, we're going to get an Endo, like a DM in January. No, McAllister was the DM. McAllister was the DM because McAllister never was never going to come in and play in the 8 because he hasn't got, shout out to Minerals, he hasn't got the minerals to play in the 8. If you look at the profile of 8 that we have and that we've had and that Klopp wants, we were looking at Thuram earlier in the window. Then it was Kone. We have Jones in there. We got Gravenberg. We've obviously got Sobersai. We're looking at Bellingham. They've all got something in common, which means they've got a lot of legs and they've got a presence in midfield and they can get about. McAllister's so different from them. We were never going to go and play him in that position. He was always coming to go and play in that deep role because we wanted to control games a bit better, in my opinion. And I think it hasn't worked out. And I don't think Liverpool were ever looking at, you know what, we're going to go and get this destroyer of a DM. And I just don't see it personally. I think when you look at the fact that we've got McAllister there, we've still got Thiago in that role, and we have Endo.
Oh, I'm done with Thiago, by the way, from his contract.
I'm done with him, but he's still at the club, so I've got to just say, like, this is his role, and I think we need to accept. And I've said this before. All right, so right now he's playing out of position. If he plays in the DM for another season, is he still playing out of position, or is that his position? And when do we start saying that's his position? Out of position, like a couple games. For me, out of position's like, all right, we're playing Gomez at left back, man. Like, he's playing out of position. If you play a season for me at right back, you're a right back now, bro. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if Trent plays a season in midfield, he's a midfielder now. That's the way I'd look at it. I wouldn't say he's playing out of position.
Yeah, that's what I said. We can't, like, here's the thing. Like, obviously, we can judge McAllister properly as an 8, but as a 6, I still have to judge him how he plays this season. And he hasn't been good enough this season, McAllister. From the play we saw at Brighton, he hasn't shown us that potential he has at Liverpool. And who knows, he can become good in the future. Like, I'm not going to be one of these fans like that.
He could be. I'm not gonna discredit him. I think I think people gas him. I think he's a decent player. But he's not. I don't think he's world class. I don't think he was the best midfielder or the best player at Brighton. I think he's a very, very good player that if you used in the right system, he could be really, really good. He could be good. But I think it'll be interesting to see what happens with obviously the McAllister situation. And look, if Endo can go and put a performance against Brentford, that would be a start. Do you know what I mean? That'd be a start. If he could put a performance in and get a few games under his belt, I think that would be good for his confidence. So
yeah. One more thing I want to talk about is something to do with the whole team in general, and it's been noticing a lot when we concede goals on the counter attack, is that we never do cynical fouls at all. Like, here's the thing, that we go to the Luton goal where Chong scored. I put a little bit of blame to Elliot. I thought Elliot was fantastic when he came up, by the way. I think he deserves his flowers, but he didn't make that tackle. He didn't take that yellow for the team. And we've seen a lot of it, even in the Spurs game when we lost the own goal to Matip. Obviously, Matip messed up the own goal. But there's numerous opportunities where we could have took down Højbjerg, who was carrying the ball, and got us a yellow card. Like, we never do that. This is what Rodri gets praised at, because he always does that for the team to stop a counter-attack, stop leading the goals. And we need to start doing that. Because if you're on the yellow, then don't do it. Obviously, it's stupid. But if you're not on the yellow, do it. Take one for the team, man. Because I don't want to keep risking us goals, because defense is what's going to win you league, win you trophies. You can't keep conceding goals like that. It's too much.
Yeah. Do you know what it is, though? I hear you, but you can't blame a player for this. It's more, for me, it's systematic. It's Klopp. You know, he's always praised the fact that Liverpool are a really fair team. You know, we always come into the situation, we always come into this kind of, you know, a place where, you know, we're top of the rankings for yellow cards and so forth. We get the least yellow cards in the Premier League and stuff like that. We win the Fair Play Award. I think that's something that obviously Klopp has to go and look at, because that's got to be an instruction. I remember a few years ago, we lost the game or scored a goal when Gini Wijnaldum was in this similar position, and he didn't make the tackle. So I agree with you on that one as well, man. I'd like to go and see some tactical fouls. But Hunter, big up Ultra, big up to yourself. Need to get the next caller on as well. You know, but big up. I appreciate you calling on. I appreciate you obviously supporting the channel. And yeah, man, I'll speak to you soon, bro.
Yeah, take care, bro.
Take care, man. Take it easy. Yeah, big up there, man. We got Liverpool 12th man here saying, how can you say Maka wasn't supposed to be the 8? Originally, when we purchased the team, still had Fabinho and Hendo for the 6. Now that we don't, plan has changed. Yes. However, I don't think McAllister was going to go and play in the 8. Because Szoboszlai was still in the process of being purchased. I think McAllister was going to be an option. And I think there was rumours of Thiago also going. And McAllister, we have to remember as well, was purchased because he had a release clause and there was an opportunity to go and buy him. And Liverpool are opportunists in the transfer window. McAllister does not fit the mould of a Liverpool midfielder and hasn't done. Thiago and McAllister are the anomalies of a Liverpool midfield, but he's not a Thiago. He hasn't got the same tenacity. I think, yeah, he's doing a role. I think he would have been a player that, like, for me, I was always saying I'd want him on the bench. Like, even when we got him, I was like, okay, great. Even if we have Fabinho, cool. Do you know what I mean? We've got Szoboszlai and I wanted to play Kurtic because of how we started. I didn't think McAllister would usurp him like that. But I hear your point. Ali Nas saying he's right. McAllister is an 8. Szoboszlai is more of an 11. Mac is a pure centre mid. Yeah, but he's not for a Liverpool system. Like, he's a pure centre mid, 100%. He's a centre mid, not for Liverpool. It's like he hasn't got the minerals that Liverpool require from a centre mid, and I think his attributes mean that Klopp really likes him because he's different. And again, he's not the facilitator, but he's the safety net in that midfield. So in transition, we try to be really, really fast. If we can't get out in transition, or we can't play a very, very direct ball, which might be a long ball from Van Dijk to Salah, it might be Gravenberch, Jones, Szoboszlai running with the ball and traveling really, really quickly, or using our fullbacks, Trent playing the ball or whatever. He's our safety net. All right, we ain't got it, we can give it to McAllister. And because he's got the ability in comparison to other players, you can get on the half turn, you can pop it off, give it to him again. When you're asking him to go and play this role, this deep role, this Jorginho role, I think Jorginho on the ball is a really, really good example of that. He just can't do it. He just can't do it. He's not doing well at the moment. Maybe he can do it, and you're saying he's a pure 8. If he changes, like, this argument that there's a player here and this is where he only plays is nonsense, because if he plays here for another season as a DM, he's our DM. We have to just accept that. It's not, you can't keep chopping and changing. It's like flipping, great example. Bell plays up front for flipping for Wales, but played on the left wing for do you know what I mean, for Real Madrid as an example. There's many players. Alaba plays at centre back for Real Madrid, played at left back for Bayern Munich, and played as a midfielder for Austria. These players can play in different areas. I think that's then going on to say here, yeah, bro, but he cannot help us as a DM. DM is one of the hardest positions in the team. He doesn't have that profile. He's more of a visionary, but he's more of a visionary, but he's not even the best visionary. For me, he's a basic visionary. He's not this outstanding visionary. Thiago's what you call a visionary, if I'm going to be deadly honest. I'm done with that player anyway. Klopp has playing him there because he wants a ball-controlling, deep-line playmaker. But he's not doing it too well, in my opinion. But I hear what you're saying, but if Klopp's playing him there, there's nothing you could do. Anyway, last and but not least, we need to get the main man on. I've been waiting to see him come on. It's Mr. Paul Smith.
Long time. How you doing, my man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Apologies. We've had a
don't worry. I came on a bit late, mate. You know what I mean? I didn't know he was having the phone-in show today, so I just managed to sort of this sort by chance. If you get my meaning.
There we go. Yeah. Appreciate having you on, man. Speak
right,
to me.
I'll start with the issue of whether you can criticize Klopp or not. Like because I vehemently disagree with Minerals FC. He's talking nonsense. I mean, there's no sacred cows in football. No one is beyond criticism. Sorry, but there isn't. There's no such thing as a sacred cow. No one's perfect, and you have to call out those faults. And Klopp's made a number of faults today, and he continues to make these mistakes, trying to shoehorn players into positions they're not suited to. McAllister is never a lone 6. He's not a lone 6. He can do it as a double pivot if he's got someone alongside him, like a Bajcetic or even an Endo. To play those two at the double pivot, that would work a lot better, in my personal opinion. A lot better. That allows that frees McAllister up to do the deep line playmaking role. Definitely.
The thing is, I hear it, The problem is Klopp doesn't see it like that because
But he needs to change.
Otherwise, there's so many things he could have done. We've seen Jones playing the DM before. We saw Trent play there in pre-season. He would have played Endo and played McAllister. He would have done everything possible to play McAllister further forward. He would have swapped Soboslai around and do all of this. I have not seen that since. And I actually think Klopp wants to play him there. And if that's the case, he's our DM now. We saw it with Gini Wijnaldum. Gini Wijnaldum was a left winger and a number 10, like second striker for Newcastle and PSV. He came to Liverpool and played in the 6. At time, obviously, he played in the 8 and at times played in the 6 and had a completely different role than he had even for his national team. So we have to, at one point, look at it and be like, oh, okay, well, he might have not been a 6, but for Klopp, he's a 6.
He's trying to turn players into something they're not. He's done it to Thiago. Without that's another example of a player where he's actually tried to turn into a player he's not. Trying to turn him into a running machine, a PMP monster. Yeah, where he's a technical player. And we do this nonsense that we just have to have runners or PMP players in our midfield is nonsense. We have to have a balance. We need creativity. We need players who can manipulate the ball, keep hold of the ball, can also create. We can't be no team has won a league title with just PMP. Sorry. That's my opinion. In the history of football and in the history of the Premier League in recent years, no team has won a league with just playing PMP or won any major trophy with just PMP.
I mean, could you not argue we won the league though with PMP?
We had good technical players. We had Wijnaldum and we had Salah. That wasn't a pure PMP team.
Yeah. That's true. Very, very true.
No team has won it. You cannot win it. You cannot win a team without technical players. Sorry, that's just my opinion. And that's the most skillful players win games. Match winners win football matches. Yeah.
I hear you, man.
And that's another complaint. I've been saying to a lot of people on various shows that today's football is dry, boring. I don't find it exciting anymore. I don't get excited about football anymore in today's football. Yeah. Because there's no match winners, there's no mavericks, there's no guys who think with their side. It's become too much like the positional game has taken over the Pep style of football, where you can't think for yourself. You have to play within a system. You can't lose the ball. You can't take risks. There's no risk takers in the final third.
Yeah, I agree, bro. I definitely
agree.
Definitely agree.
And that defense needs to be. We have to stop conceding goals. Stop conceding goals early. We can't keep on trying to win from unwinnable positions. We can't continue to do it. We're going to lose games more than we win them. Yeah.
I fully agree, Paul. Fully agree. Listen, I appreciate you calling as always. I'm going to do more of these, so look forward to hearing from you.
I know you got to get off, man. You want to get to bed, man, and get some rest.
Yeah, man, I've got to be up early tomorrow, man.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for having me on anyway. Much appreciated.
I appreciate it, Paul. Thank you so much. Take it easy. Cheers. Big up to Paul, man. He's saying a lot of facts, man. Saying a lot of facts. Couple things before we head up. We've got Alan saying players are made to do something. You cannot play Salah at centre back. He cannot deliver there. Or even Messi cannot play as a DM or centre back. Mac does very well for Argentina alongside the Paul in centre mid. Yes, I'm not asking McAllister to play at right back. I'm not asking him to go and play in defence. I'm not asking him to play up front. Him playing in the 6, he's not a number 10. So I'm not asking Maddison to play in the 6. He's a centre mid that should be able to go and play in the 6, because if we played 4-4-2, there'll be 2 midfielders. And he's not the attacking. He's not a Steven Gerrard type of midfielder. He'd be the deep one. If we were playing 4-4-2, he'd be the Jabi Alonso of the team, and Steven Gerrard would be the more attacking one. And he can't do that for me. So big up to Tabitha. Tabitha saying, what is PMP? PMP is pace and power. Pace and power. Let me get onto some more. I think I started some. Big up to Honesty. Honesty's got a question saying, question, JJ, is the midfield a bit disjointed without Curtis Jones, and would you stop Costas for Ait Nouri? I would definitely stop Costas for Ait Nouri, and I think the team is disjointed without Curtis Jones. I think he's that good. Anfield Road End saying, who else is keeping track of Jabi Alonso at Leverkusen? Ram is 100%. We got Jamrock saying, Jerry James, when we get into 10K, fam, listen, we got to get to 10K quick. Listen, I need to be more consistent if we're being honest, man. We're lacking right now. Moving like, who are we moving like? We're moving like, who's a great time but always injured, man? I was trying to think of someone. Like Diaby at Arsenal. Like that. You could be something, but you're always injured. We're not consistent, man. We're not consistent, man. But yeah, big up to everyone in the building. Yeah, that's all for today. I need to head off. Guys. But look, thank you so much, people, for tuning in and obviously jumping on this call. And I didn't expect so many people to be fully engaged with what we're doing on the platform. I love it. Thank you so much. Like Jamie, I wholeheartedly thank everyone for the support, man. So big up to everyone in the building. We will be doing a tactics board on the game tomorrow. Won't obviously be doing a watch along because I'll be out and about. But as we said, my scoreline is 2-1 for Liverpool. Hope we do it, but listen, anything's possible right now. We're in a bit of a slump, but hopefully we can obviously recover and get to that next level. But until next time, people, it's been the Jerry James Show. Have a very, very good night. You never will look alone, and take it easy, guys. Peace.